welcome to South View Guys TV. It's me, Marlon, and it's your boy, Tuesday segment, Ashmatic. Are you well, my son?
Yes, brother, I'm well, I'm blessed. And we move, man. It's another Tuesday, another day. We're in a new year. And, well, Spurs will be Spurs, man. That's what I can say.
you want to kick it off already? You want to kick it off? I guess me and you just go out for like 20 minutes. No. Jeez.
I'm not trying to do that, you know. I'm not trying to do that. Let me start again. Take two. Yeah, guys, I'm feeling real good. We're into the cup, next round of the cup, and yeah, man, things are looking up.
They are. Until the transfer window opens, always looks up. And then Spurs start throwing us out rumours. But hey ho. But as always, it's not about us. And I can't believe you brought one of the guests back. I still can't believe it. But we'll find out. We'll find out how he's going to cope tonight with all this transfer talk. But let's welcome him. Let's welcome the guest on. First of all, let's welcome Michael. Are you well?
We got boys from the freezing Poland. It's currently like minus 12 here.
Ooh,
so enjoying the cold.
We'll try and heat
this. Trust me, ironically, I live in the hottest part of Poland. At my girlfriend's parents' house, it's been minus 21 during the night. So it's ridiculous, boys. You know?
But no, hope you are well. Hope things are well.
Yeah, everything's all right.
Hopefully, we'll have some heated discussions tonight. But the next guest, another welcome. Phil, are you well?
Yes, guys, I'm good. Thanks for having me back on the show. The day's been good a couple hours ago, but I'm sure we'll get into it and chop it up. But yeah, I'm well, guys. Thanks for having me.
And last but not least, watch this. Watch how the views just cut off when I put this boy on. Alex, why are you back?
I'll tell you why I'm back, Marlon. I'm the ratings killer, Mr. Box Office, the main event, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment. Ashmatic's guilty pleasure and your nightmare, and that's it. No, get to know, and that's it. That's all I need to say, and that's it. You know what I mean? Because they all come to see the ratings killer make himself known, and that's it. That's all I need to say, and that's it. Back to you, Marlon. I'm done. If you don't know, get to know.
He has spoken. First of all, so Ash, I want to get into the Burnley game quickly, right? FA Cup.
Yeah.
I kind of felt, and I felt like this was Spurs. I didn't just feel like this was Spurs. I felt like this through the whole FA Cup. But most teams had to play basically the strongest 11 they could because that's all they had available. And that's what we pretty much did. There was no chopping or changing. If you looked at like the Liverpool and Arsenal game as well, both of them put out a strong 11 because actually their substitute bench, half of them were injured as well. I felt like all the teams did it, Newcastle and everybody. But Spurs, how did they get on? Like for you?
Like, you can see that everyone's into their squad. So everyone talks about squad depth. We're actually in it. So now we're in the actual depth itself. You can see that some of the performance mentally were kind of like fatigued in that sense where we're trying to try things and it's not quite coming off. We're not like super fluid or we're not like spontaneous with our attacks and our movements not like electrifying how it was in other performances. We did see the lot of the ball as always. But Burnley actually did quite well defensively. They got in their 4-4-2 shape and they were quite narrow. So we tried to be direct at times, hit the flanks, hit the channels. And I think Johnson was the main guy that we kept hitting. But for whatever reason, every time he was on the ball, he kind of flattered to deceive, I felt. Sometimes he tried to go on the outside. Sometimes he tried to go on the inside. And whatever he did, they had an answer for. I felt sometimes when he needed to shoot, he passed. And sometimes when he needed to pass or cross, he shot. And it wasn't getting past that first line of defense. And Richarlison, for me, movement off the ball wasn't as strong as he normally is, or had not normally is, but recently movement off the ball was being poor, and I felt that kind of contributed to Johnson not being able to find a cross to find a man because the movement was a bit flat up front. I thought in midfield, actually didn't mind Bentancur. I thought Bentancur was doing those first time passes in the first half, especially really quick. Burnley didn't really. I mean, Vicario was quiet, in my opinion. I don't think Vicario had much to do, if I'm being totally honest. As much as people said, Burnley could have done us over, I'm like, when it comes to
one shot on target, yeah, they had one shot on target and an offside. Okay, if we had put it on target, it was a goal because VAR would have ruled against it.
Yeah, but apart from that, I felt like they frustrated us typically. So yeah, I just feel like upstairs we're a bit flat, and because we haven't got anyone to bring on, we brought on like Sessegnon, Scarlett. Like the bench is saying meaty to me. Like the bench is giving mad meaty. So like it just showed me January. I was like, right, January, we know what we need now. It's quite clear, and here we are. If I'm being honest, here we are. I'll let anyone else chime in from here, boy.
Phil, I just wanted to quickly bring you in. I'm going to give all three of you something individually to talk about with the Burnley game.
Yeah.
And I just want to get your opinions. But Phil, I wanted to get your opinion on that front three. Kulusevski moved back onto the right, Johnson went to the left, and Richarlison went up front, and Lo Celso played in behind. Ash obviously then spoke a lot about Johnson. But what did you make of that front three as a whole?
Yeah, I think I think the thing that is frustrating is actually there just being a bit more killer instinct. So I feel like apart from Kulu, who tries to cut inward, especially when playing on the right, no one has a go. Like the likelihood of us even scoring a rebound, like a rebounded goal, I don't know if we've even scored one yet because no one's having a go. Like you've got to test your keeper. So it's frustrating because it feels like, and I know a part of it is the system, but it feels like sometimes we're trying to literally walk the ball to the back of the net. Someone's got to shoot. So it was really, it just felt disjointed. And I think, yeah, Ash made a good point about like the decision making being poor. I felt like Richie couldn't really get out of the blocks. Like there was just no pace, no accelerating pace to sort of burst through, and there was no conviction. So it was really frustrating. I think there was like a cold shot from Johnson. I just didn't feel like the front three were creating enough, and I think it, it really did expose us missing Son. I think when we know when Son's on his A game that he's going to have that bravery to just have a go, and that's why it was refreshing. Though the players kind of made the joke about Porro taking these chances doing training, but someone has to have a go. If you're not going to be able to walk the ball in the back of the net, you've got to turn and shoot. Do you know what I mean? But to be fair, I think in terms of the shapes that we're creating, it didn't feel fluid enough. Yes, Johnson's going to take some time, and I think that's something we might have to kind of brave, but will be frustrating at times because we kind of need the front three to just click, especially in Son's absence as well. But it was it was really frustrating to watch because it's been a couple of games now where we've needed to just kill off the game. But actually, even though like there was invited pressure, I don't think Burnley actually did much with it. Against other teams, you have that swing of the game where actually another team gains a bit of belief in the ball and can be more decisive. So we've got to be really careful. It will require a lot of patience, but for me, yeah, the front three wasn't it for me, to be honest, against Burnley. If I'm going to be straight down the line,
Mike, I saw you like agreeing with Phil regarding that front three, and I wanted to ask you a bit about Oliver Skipp, but I also wanted to ask you. Do you feel like Ange could have changed that front three? Because it wasn't fluid enough in that first half, and we were kind of like, Johnson was getting in positions, as Ash said, but it wasn't a case of he just didn't look comfortable on the left. No matter what we tried, we could have just gone and reverted him, but he just didn't decide to do that. But also at the same time, I wanted to ask you about Oliver Skipp. So do you want to speak about if Ange could have changed it, and then how did Oliver Skipp get on? Because that's a position that Sarr has literally made his own. But how do you think Oliver Skipp got on? Because a lot of this conversation seems to be the fluidity, but it seems to be when Sarr's not there, every game he's not there for, it just doesn't work. That's how I see it.
Yeah, so like with Skipp, I don't want to be like too harsh on the guy. Let's call it that way, right? Because like with the academy graduates, you always have that like bit of softness towards them, right? But I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think he's just like he's not an 8. He will never be an 8. He's not progressive enough. He's not creative enough. Too much sideways passing. Too much like too many losses of possession, right? And you can like I've heard people make arguments that he like 8 is not his role. He should have played as a 6. But I also like as a 6 in this system, you need to be able to pick the ball up from the defense and spray passes forwards to the 8s, right? And he can't do that either, right? I was so like appalled by this performance that I went to like SofaScore and checked like his passing statistics, and I kid you not, I think we did like 617 passes or something, if my mind serves me correctly, right, during the game. And he made 24 as a midfielder, as an 8, right? He should be the guy with like 80 at least, right? And not only that, like out of those 24, only 16 found their target, right? Which is like what 2/3, right? 2/3, like 66%. It's just not good enough. Like I don't want to be harsh on the guy, right? But I have to point out his like deficiencies, right? And this is basically it for me. He just doesn't suit the system. When we are playing the double pivot and he was tasked with being this like destroyer guy that just runs around, kicks people, takes the ball off them with his slides and then, and just sprays it wherever, right? For someone else creative to do the work, right? I think that was the role for him. But in this system, he has to, be the guy to take the responsibility, sometimes take the responsibility on his chest, right? So, that performance was probably one of the worst, but and with the front three, I agree, like it was disjointed and really not working. But I also want to raise the point, like we could have changed it, but how? Like there weren't many possibilities of changing it. I completely agree. I think Brennan Johnson has been like 3 times the player on the right compared to the left, right? I think he just feels more comfortable. You just watch the guy play and you see that he just that's his place, right, on the right side. But then I raise you like the question: does it mean that we put Kulu on the left? Like I think the most logical thing would be to put Kulu as a 10, Gio as an 8, and then Bentancur as a 6, right?
Yeah.
But then like technically Gio is out of position, some other guys are out of position, and is it too much shuffling? So the front three has been shit, but I don't know if we can do better right now with Hodgson.
No, great. Alex, I'm going to leave you with the last point regarding Burnley, because it wasn't a game to talk about, but I'm hoping you're going to be positive about the next guy and his performance. But I wanted to speak about Emerson Royale. Now, everyone says right that he's crap, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. But statistically, defensively, in the last 2 games, he's probably been the best defender, right? Is he doing the job that he's supposed to? A very good one, and being good at it, considering.
You're asking me that question.
I am asking you that question because I know you don't like him.
You're telling me that I'm going to listen to statistics telling me that Emerson Royale played well against Burnley. Bro, he did his job.
Yeah,
he did his job.
Yeah, but he can't.
Yeah, but bro. I'm sorry. This is why I don't listen to stats. I can't do stats. I don't play FIFA. I don't do FIFA, bro. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. The guy did his job because Burnley were toothless up front. Yeah, so I'm not listening to this rubbish that he played well. Yeah, well done. You did well. When you absolutely got bantered against Bournemouth, yeah, Adoji was saving your ass how many times, bro? You know what I mean? Saving his ass how many times? That's why he was man in the match. I was watching him. I was watching that guy. I was there watching Adoji literally saving his ass every single time. Yeah, it was a bit of a cheat because I was hearing some of these already. Oh, we're playing our first 11, really, with Emerson? Really?
What was available?
No. Where's the class of '92? Yeah, the class of '92 youngsters, Ashley Phillips and Dorrington. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're not good enough. Oh yeah, but I was told they were very good. I'm sorry, Marlon. You got Mr. Box Office going. Yeah, I said I was going to behave myself. Yeah, I was going to be nice, but then you start telling me, asking me that question about Emerson. You having a laugh? No, bro. I'm sorry. No, I don't agree with it at all. At all. Yeah, if you're telling me on that performance, you're saying play him in the next game.
No. How was he good? Was he able to do his job against Burnley, keep a clean sheet, managed to keep him to one shot on target, and was probably and statistically, as out of that back four, he had the better stats out of all of them.
Well, that's why I don't listen to stats, Bob, because that's absolute nonsense. Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
The Spurs won the game.
If Davies was still fit, yeah, and Van der Ven's fit now, does Emerson get better? Does Van der Ven go straight back into the team? Oh yes, he does. Yes, he does. So he hasn't done a good job, hasn't he? Then he hasn't done a good job, hasn't he? Then my gosh,
we don't know who Andrew.
My gosh,
you don't know Andrew.
My gosh, I've never heard such a whoop in my life. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. If anybody's giving this guy credit for doing his job, yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, but
and this is why we don't win nothing. Yeah, I'm sorry.
We'll get to that, but don't you have to give him credit because he?
No. You did your job. Well done. Get a blue Peter badge. Fantastic. Well done.
But he's not doing his job, is he? He's a right back. He's a right back.
But he's doing his job. Well done. Well done for not making a mistake. Well done. Well done. I'm sorry. I can't say any more than that. I'm sorry. When someone says to me, this guy statistically looked good. Oh, we need to give him well done. Well done for being statistically well. Well done. I'm just like, where are we going with this?
Yeah, but that's because he doesn't. Because no one's expecting it. Everyone's expecting him to be shit.
That's exactly what we're talking about then. This is the point I'm making. It's like, this is the problem I have. Like, yes, great. Yeah, it was a good thing that he's a centre-back, yeah? Okay, you stopped Dier being in the team. Great. Okay, well, that's not really that much competition.
Dier or Royale then?
I wouldn't even add either. To be honest,
you ain't got a choice. You ain't got a choice because
I put Emerson there because he ignores the youngsters. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have Lloyd Kelly up front. I'd rather have Lloyd Kelly. Yeah, I actually apologise. I apologise to Juan Fuef. I apologise to Juan Fuef. Yeah,
that's the name I haven't heard in a long time.
I apologise to Juan Fuef. Yeah, when we sold you, I really apologise because now we've got to have this sort of quality of defender. I'm sorry. I've got to apologise. I apologise to Joe Rodon. I apologise. I really apologise.
I don't apologise.
Yeah, well, I'd rather have
that's going too far.
Ramon Vega back in my team. I'm sorry. Back in the 90s, yeah? Right? John Scales was better than this guy all day long. You know what I mean?
Centre-backs. You're naming centre-backs. You're asking a fullback to go play centre-back. There's not many that could do it.
Well done, bro. Well done. I'm sorry, but Luke Shaw can play plays fullback, and he's a good centre-back as well. So well done for doing your job. Again, I'm sorry. I do apologise, everybody, to the audience. But Marlon had to answer me that question. He had to answer me that question about. He had to answer me that question about Emerson, saying that he looked good because statistically we look good. That's why Mr. Box Office doesn't pay attention to statistics. He looks it with his eyes. Yeah, and his eyes tell you that he's a bang average defender, and that's it. Back to you, Marlon. I'm done.
Yeah, but he wasn't bang average against Burnley, unfortunately. No matter how you look at it, he wasn't. Even with your eyes, because I thought he had an okay game, and then statistics proved that he had a good game. And I thought, for me, everyone writes him off, right? And this is how I saw it. Everyone writes him off. You're expecting him to be crap, right? But he's actually come in the last 2 games, and it's actually been. Yeah, he's going to make what we call centre-back mistakes because he's a right back, right? He's not good enough to play right back. He's not good enough to play left back, right? And he's not good enough to play centre-back. But if he plays okay and he plays better than Dier and doesn't make the mistakes Dier plays, you've got to give him some sort of credit, unfortunately. No matter how you
credit for being better than Dier is not good, bruv.
Yeah, but you got to remember the last 2 or 3 managers have been playing Dier every week. And I've had to
That's their
watch it.
fault. That's their fault.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's their fault.
Alex, Dier is wanted by Bayern, right? He's better
Yeah,
than the guy. So.
yeah. This is
Okay, I can't speak for Bayern.
I was joking.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, Mikhail. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, but the point I'm making is right, and this is what's so funny. Yeah, Everton game. Yeah, I was in the crowd. Yeah, right. When I heard that Dier was coming on, I was saying, "Why is Dier coming on?" People were saying, "Why are you moaning for? Why are you still moaning? You're still moaning." Throughout the game, people were saying, "Oh my gosh, what is Dier doing? What Dier doing?" Oh, you're saying I was moaning though. You're saying I was moaning.
well.
You see what I'm saying? This is what Tottenham fans are like.
It's when he came on.
This was in the stadium. This was sort of in the stadium.
It's straight
Yeah,
away as well.
saying I was moaning at half time, but then they end up moaning about the guy that I was moaning about. There you go. That's all I need to say.
All right. Let's move on because Alex is not going to give the man praise, and I, for once, I actually think he deserves it. But let's talk about the next guy, right? Let's talk about this guy right here.
Ooh.
Yeah. Signed on the dotted line 6-month loan deal. Ash,
Yes.
please explain to me why Spurs have decided, to go down this route.
Oh, geez. You know what? There's a reason why it's kind of divided the actual Spurs community. I get it. Let me roll the VT. Let's just
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Let me get rid of my.
Let me just roll the VT. Is that my allowed? Can I start?
Yeah. You can start now. You should be able to share it. Yeah.
Cool.
You won? There you go.
Cool. So Timo Werner, we're getting him on loan for 6 months, 17 million. He's 27 years old. Actually, we were linked with Timo Werner when he was at Stuttgart. A long time ago.
Yeah.
We were looking for another centre forward option, and he was a guy that the scouts linked up for. It's be interesting to know if they were still looking at him afterwards. But yeah, we were looking.
I think we were looking at him when he was at Leipzig as well. But
the price was a bit mad.
Right, the price
when
then
he went
became
to
too much
Leipzig.
for us. Yeah.
Right. Well, Chelsea obviously bit at that, and we never. So anyway, back to Werner. He plays as a centre forward, but he can also play on the left or on the right of a front three. Here he is at Chelsea. He's in a 4-3-3. This was under Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard inherited a squad that he had to kind of figure out quite quickly. So he was still trying to figure out. Ziyech has got there, Werner and Tony Abraham up front in the lone striker role. Also, he got what's the Arsenal player's name? I forgot his name now. Havertz. He also inherited Havertz at the time as well. So Lampard was trying to figure it out. After Lampard got sacked, Tuchel came in, played in the 3-5-2, and Werner was playing up front with Havertz at times. But Tuchel also changed it around a few times, and he played Timo Werner in a 3-4-2-1 as a lone striker with Pulic and Ziyech behind him. And when he went back to Leipzig, he actually played as one of the front. So he played in a 4-2-3-1. So he was playing a bit wide with Nkunku there and Stabitzer there as well. But all different formations. Here's his heat map, his recent heat map, in fact. You can see that he's all over the pitch. On the right-hand side, you can see the heat maps there on that flank. But on the other left-hand channel, you can see that's where he mainly operates. And that's him on that. Just looking at his stats really quickly. This is his stats versus forwards. I know Alex doesn't like this, but just to get an overall look, passes attempted. So he passes quite a lot of attempts for forward. Pass completion's quite good as well in the green. Progressive passing. So in the final third, he's passing. His progressive carries are really high for a striker or a forward player. It's 93 percentile. Successful take-ons, super high as well. And touches in the penalty area and progressive passes received, which is quite impressive. That means he's got somewhat good technique on the ball, is able to receive the ball under pressure. What's not so high is the non-penalty goals. The shots are quite low as well for a striker. The assists are quite low. Expected assists, non-penalty goals as well, all low as well. But shot creation actions, this is the main statistic to look at. just to see what Lange was probably looking at, because apparently Lange and Ange have been fans for quite a while, and they're the ones that wanted to bring him in. But yeah, those are his stats. Also, I did his stats as an attacking midfielder / versus wingers, because I felt like the reason why people aren't happy with his signing is because A, they wanted a real centre forward, or B, they wanted a winger. And as a winger, he doesn't perform as well. This is one thing that a lot of people that are kind of bigging him up haven't really looked at, his stats versus other wingers. Now, again, I go back to his touches in the penalty area, really high. Progressive passes received, so him able to take balls under pressure at speed, he's really good at that, so he's got good technique. But in terms of actual passes attempted compared to other wingers, progressive carries, successful take-ons, really low, all in the red. And even shot creation actions as a winger, really low again. So yeah, that's one thing to consider. Okay, so we're actually going to look at some footage as well. Oh, here is the graph. I just missed it. It was this graph as well, just showing his attributes. Let me play that again, sorry. Right here, just showing, like, again, emphasizing successful take-ons, progressive carries on the chart. Interceptions are really high, so he's good at reading the game. That means he's got some type of football IQ, and his movement off the ball will be particularly good. And I think Spurs will be looking at a player that they want to play high up, win the ball high up, be really aggressive on the press, and progress that ball really quickly as well. All right, so let's look at the actual footage itself. The footage, here we have him running in behind, running into space. This is international. Here's some of his goals. You can see that he's always on the shoulder. He scores a variety of goals, different types of goals. I think that's what made him appeal to Chelsea at the time. Here he is at RB Leipzig and at Germany. So couldn't show the Chelsea footage, obviously Premier League copyrighted. So I have to show the German footage. And a lot of it is international clips. But again, first touch is decent, getting out of his feet. You can see him running at players, assisting there for a goal. So here's some of his assists. Just on the shoulder, winning the ball up. You can see that we do this type of play already, where we're kind of high up on teams. So you can see that him doing that for Spurs as well, literally nicking the ball off, driving at defenders, and then playing through balls. So you can see maybe what Ange and Lange were probably looking for when they scouted this guy. Again, getting to the byline, doing little cutbacks. Here's some of his dribbling attributes, some of his carries. Not actually beating players, but again, very quick, explosive, able to get the ball out of his feet, close control, but he moves at a lightning speed as well. So that's what you're going to get. Technically quite good. Someone that's explosive, someone that's fast, on the shoulder, running in the channels. And a lot of the clips here are not just on the left-hand side, but on the right-hand channel as well. So that just shows his flexibility, knowing when to run in behind, knowing when to carry. So decision-making on the ball is actually not too bad. And in terms of like Spurs pushing up the pitch, fast transitions, trying to drive forward, Werner's going to be your guy. He's going to be your guy that's going to get that. Someone that's got a little bit more experience than, I would say, a Brennan Johnson in that position. So you've got someone on the right, someone on the left that's really progressive. And here he is again, just literally being a nuisance, causing trouble. And a lot of fans, I got a message from 2 Chelsea fans saying they reckon in this system, he will do well. So the critique is, and I'm going to pause it if I can take it back just a little bit. The critique is him as a goal scorer. That's where the problem is. He had 2 hot patches, in my opinion. The 2 hot patches were at RB Leipzig, 28 goals in the 2019-20 season, where my arrow is, 8 assists, 36 goal contributions, all right, in total. Then the other hot patch is just below, was 21 goals, 5 assists, 26 goal contributions. And obviously, I think Postecoglou is probably hoping that he can get the best out of him. And it was interesting because I heard an interview with him saying that he was looking between Chelsea and Liverpool. Now, obviously, Klopp looked at him and was thinking, maybe if I can bring him on when Mane is getting tired, I could probably bring him on and he could cause a bit of devastation. And now with Klopp, he's got very clear ideas and he plays attacking football and he's good at putting arms around players, etc., etc. However, he chose Chelsea, he laid his bed and he stunk it out. And that's what a lot of people are looking at, that performance when he came to the Premier League, where he got only 6 goals at Chelsea here, and then 4 goals in the following season. 8 assists, which was one of his highest assists. So between Tuchel and Lampard, that's when he had his best goal contribution with 14 goals. But the following season got 5 goals. And then we go back to the season that we just had in 2022 to 2023. Only 3 assists there and 9 goals. So 12 goal contributions on that one. I'm just going to fast forward it a little bit and just again show his attributes. So I think the reason why he struggled at RB Leipzig both times on that second stint and at Chelsea is because he played infield. So he played closer as a front 3 or as a front 2. When he did well at RB Leipzig, he was playing behind the striker and like impulsing. So he's playing just off the shoulder of a striker. But I think he thrives more when he plays a little bit wider in the channels. So when he's not getting too close. So here I've just did a little diagram where he draws 2 defenders and he gives space to other players. When he's got the pitch in front of him, he's actually quite devastating. That's where he can show his explosive power, his speed, and that's when he can perform better. When he's got less time to think about it, that's when he struggles. Here he's in between the lines as well. So just him mixing up his game, showing his game intelligence, him receiving the ball that I was talking about. He's good at receiving the ball. He's good at driving at players. And that's when you see the best of Werner. But in terms of being an actual goal threat, being an actual striker, I'm just going to close it now. He seems to struggle, in my opinion. And a lot of people said they prefer to see him as an out-and-out number 9. But I think his best position is out wide, not central. So him pulling wide as a left forward, a left, almost like a Rashford kind of role, as opposed to playing as a striker. I think he had the one stellar season and the season before that where he showed some he showed good performances, but in front of goal, when the pressure's on, he's not your killer. He doesn't know how to slow it down. He doesn't know how to kill the game. So for me, I wouldn't have him as a striker in my opinion, from what I've seen. And as a footballer as well, I don't think he's as technical as we could have got, in my opinion. But yeah, that's how I look at Werner at the moment.
So Ash,
yeah,
I think I came up with this last week, right? And I'll get the opinions on the guests as well. Spurs were meant to be changing their whole scouting system. Yeah. What boxes does Timo Werner tick for them not to go, yeah, this is the man that's going to change what we've got around?
I think
he can't finish. Like we've all watched him. We've all watched Werner play, right? Like you said, when he's got time, he's been in front of goal. He can't finish. You can't teach that. We all see it. We saw it every week at Chelsea. We saw it at Leipzig, right? But he can't finish. Why? What statistically have they thought this is the man?
I think it's because, and I hate to go to statistics, I hate to do it, but his expected goals was crazy. The amount of times he hit the post, I think he hit the post at Chelsea about 4 or 5 times. And then the bad misses, I forget that. The amount of times he was offside and put it in the back of the net, crazy. And then the actual shots.
Richarlison's got a good XG though.
No, Richarlison's actually got to bear it. Yeah, exactly. But Richarlison.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. This
is why I said, like, as a forward, as a centre forward, I wouldn't play him there. I wouldn't do it.
No, I wouldn't play him on the left either.
Unless I was going to put him as a sacrificial lamb, and I was going to make him do all the running, and then he's creating shot creation actions for others. I think that's how you utilize him, and that's why I said, actually, if I'm going to do that, I put him in the front 3. I put him on the left. You know,
so I get that, and that's the bit I get
that for Son, and that's how I saw it. But in terms of actual being a killer in front of goal, it's like you have to slow things down. You have to slow things down in front of goal, and you have to have that little something about you. You have to have that little twitch. Like, do you know what I mean? He seemed like a nice guy, because remember, Ange's saying he likes the nice guys. He wants nice guys. He doesn't want no baddies. And everyone's talking about, Chelsea was loved. He was such a gentleman. Even some of the Chelsea fans that messaged
him. But it's
hero,
he does on the
this
pitch,
and that. Yeah. But like, as I said, like in terms of like, I just personally think he helps the team as opposed to individually. They're not using him as a killer, as a front man, as a hitman. They're using him because like Richarlison might get a couple. Johnson might get a couple, or some of the midfielders or the fullbacks that invert, they might score off the back of his hard work, his pressing and his ball carrying and his threat, and him running behind, and that kind of opens up the space in behind for the midfielders to kind of have pop shots that we're not actually doing at the moment. But we're hoping that if Maddison comes back, he's going to have space to shoot, and that's the idea and the thinking behind it, in my opinion.
Okay, hey, no, that's fine. Phil, I'm going to bring you in now, right?
He's like a Darwin Nunes. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, which doesn't go well. Now, Ash has brought up something there, right? And it's about the chances that he's getting, right? And I do believe he'll create chances. The problem we've got, right? And this is me, and I'll ask you guys the same question. The problem we've got is Richarlison's getting these chances, he's still missing them. Johnson is still getting these chances, he's still missing them. So we're going to have Werner there getting these chances and still missing them. So what is the point? Is basically the answer, because we're getting the chances anyway. Like, if you look at how many chances we've had in the last how many games, we've had like 20 odd shots on goal. But the problem we've got is that there's no Son half the time. Son's the only person who can score. Richarlison's missing easy chances. Johnson can't finish. And we've just brought in a striker that's just as bad as those two. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, because I think there's potentially some merit in it, but it's a stopgap, isn't it? It's a stopgap. It's a cheaper option. It's a chance for us to test the waters over 6 months. If it doesn't work out, we send him back. If it does work out, we sign him 50 million. Like, sort of typical Levy sort of package deal of going for the cheaper option. Yeah. I think this is really, if anything, this is going to be where the manager, sort of all eyes to the manager to try and sort of galvanize and give him a sense of belief. I remember when I used to watch him at Chelsea, I used to think, he's actually quite good, especially in terms of that positioning.
He gets in some great positions.
Just the finishing, and like, I'll be honest, I'm kind of relying on hope. If to be fair, there's no proof, especially based on his recent time back at Leipzig, that it's going to work actually. But I think I'm hopeful that even the Champions League experience, the experience that he's had on international duty, can bring some kind of aspect of maturity to the front three. But again, like, it is a stopgap. But I think a bit of me does wonder if he might it might sound ridiculous, but if he stands a better chance of finishing than Richarlison would. I'm just not. With Richarlison, I'm just not convinced. I think he's very useful. Very useful is a strong word, but I think I understand how I used to feel like, Richie's just not working. I get how he's useful when you're like 20 minutes away. The game is getting away from you. You need someone to try and bring something new. But I do wonder if Ange can install some belief. And he's much more gentle in approach with the players and sort of Black Knights put an arm around them. And I don't expect that. I don't really read Tuchel as that kind of guy unless he gets his like main transfer target like a Kane now. But like I think he's just going to have a big arm around him, and I prefer him to play out wide. I think he's more in terms of just movement and his in terms of his better times, like his instinctual sort of movement and able to like beat a man and make a pass, or beat a man and shoot. I feel like if the ball's at his feet in the box, he might wriggle around the defender and shoot, as opposed to like Richie, who is relying on the player to land it to his feet, land it on his head, but there's no way that there'll be creation of a goal. Do you know what I mean? So it is. I'll be real with you. I didn't, just because of the way we are Spurs, I didn't anticipate us getting anyone outside of a centre back, which we still don't have. So it was a surprise, and actually, if anything, a bit of a bonus. Like I didn't think we, even though we're linked to wingers, I just didn't think I didn't anticipate us getting the one we'd want anyway. Like whether it was Bakayoko or whoever, like a really devastating winger, I didn't imagine that it happened. So 6 months. We'll see how it goes. I really don't expect we pull the trigger unless he bags some goals. So, let's see if he can catch Richie with the 5 goals. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm in the middle, but I'm a bit optimistic and hoping that Ange can work something.
So, Michael, where are you sitting with the Werner transfer? How are you feeling about it? Because obviously you can see that I'm a bit frustrated that we've got Johnson and Richarlison who can't finish, and then we're buying a third. But as Phil said, he's feeling a bit more optimistic that actually, if he can get back to his old form, if Ange can put an arm around him, where I'll be like, he's put his arm around Richarlison and he still can't finish. So, so I'm kind of up in. I'm literally split down the middle with it, right? But how do you see it?
Yeah, so like I'm kind of neutral towards the transfer, right? I think we as a fan base did the usual thing, which was like half of us went to one end and half of us went to the other. So like you have half of this fan base claiming that Ange will make him the prime Werner, 26 goals in 10 appearances and all that bullshit, right? Which of course won't happen, right? Let's be honest about it. It's like the guy won't light the world on fire or whatever, right? But on the other hand, we have like the other section of the fan base which says that look at him at Chelsea, he was completely useless, like a trash signing, typical league, and all that. And I get the point from both sides, right? I get the faith in Ange that he will make this work, right? I get the criticism of Levy because like we all want to have like the best footballers at our team and to win shit, right? But when I look at like Werner himself, he is better than Hill, he's better than Richarlison, he's probably better than Solomon, probably better than Johnson, right? Johnson and Solomon, I think it's debatable, right? But at least at similar level, which is like in the long run not good enough. But for now, considering we don't want to play Hill, like Solomon is injured, Perisic is injured, Son is out, right? I think if we had only the funds to loan a guy, I think this is probably one of the better choices we probably could have gotten. And it's not, I don't want to be like apologetic towards the ownership. I think if they had the ambition, they probably could have gone for the Nusa guy from Club Brugge, the Norwegian wonder kid that everyone is raving about. Apparently he's like 20 to 30 million, right? But listen, I know what type of club I'm supporting, right? So that's the thing for me. And yeah, I think we should utilize him on the left. I think he proved that he's not a clinical goal scorer. He's also 1.80 m, so it's not like he's going to fight for all the crosses and headers and shoulder off the center back. So I think we should utilize the guy on the left. I think strictly profile wise, I think he lacks a bit in the dribbling department. I would have liked if we brought in someone who is a better dribbler. But the energy, the running, the pressing, the tackles, all that stuff is there, right? And we want a forward like that. Let's be honest, when you are a Saliba and Brian Hill is running towards you, you just swipe him aside and do your thing, right? Whereas with Werner, he's actually, go away. But with Werner, right? I actually think there is something physical about the guy, so I'm not expecting him, as I said, to light the world on fire, but I think the guy will contribute. And at this point, I want buddies in this club, right? Because we are running on fumes pretty much, right? So we need buddies, we need energy. And I think the guy will bring it, right? So that's why I said I'm kind of neutral. I'm going to be honest, if before the window you told me, listen, Michael, we are bringing in Timo Werner from Leipzig, I would be like, fucking what? Timo Werner of all people, right? But now when it is done, I have I can complain, but it is done, right? So I sat around and had a little research and thought about it. It's not that bad of a signing as many people make it, but I won't be praising him to the high heavens and saying Ange will make him Haaland 2.0 or whatever, right? Because that's not going to happen, let's be honest.
Alex, Werner, do you even know anything about him?
What, the below average Shane Long? Well,
like
I
J-Lo.
mean, I don't really always agree with this guy because I think he's a waffler, and I don't know how people listen to him anyway. Big up to him though. Sean from the Spurs Talk Show. He actually made a very good point on Sunday on Savage show, by the way, on Football Heritage TV. Please like and subscribe to his show, by the way. He said that most Chelsea strikers, how many Chelsea strikers have actually been successful since Drogba?
Mm.
And there's only a handful of them. Actually, I don't think there's not that much of them, to be honest with you. And the players that have come out of it.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with anything? That shows you.
Well, there's a point to it.
That shows you how good Drogba is, right?
Oh, no,
it just shows you how crap the rest of them are.
But if when you listen to the main event speaking,
you're quoting something.
When you listen
I'm arguing against it because I bet no one questioned. Like you could say Didier Drogba is a good player, right? Costa is a good player because they went to Chelsea and performed. You don't then go, oh, because Chelsea don't have these number 9s that don't perform. It'd be like who comes in for Harry Kane next. If they don't perform, they're crap. At the end of the day, they've got to come in and score goals.
I agree. I can hear you. I hear you, Marlon. You make a good point there. To be honest with you, I only allowed you to interrupt me because I think you made a very good point there.
Yeah, go on.
But my point is,
but you're quoting somebody else, and I'm rebuffing it because you can sit there and go, look, you've mentioned Didier Drogba straight away, but no one has come in and done the job. It doesn't matter if you're at Chelsea or not. You can't sit there and go, well, because Chelsea haven't had successful number 9s. No. They've had successful. Costa came in afterwards and was successful, right? It was only Conte that really met. Conte was, the downfall of that. It was the downfall of Conte at Chelsea because you should never have got rid of Costa. It was the main man, right, up top. So players can come in and do it. The only thing I'll give Werner, I'll go, actually, you had Frank Lampard as your manager in the first season, right? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt there, right? But I'm going to ask you all a question.
I haven't finished yet.
Hold on, but I'm going to ask you all the questions. You just got me onto something else. Would you all take Kai Havertz at Tottenham?
No.
So you wouldn't take Kai Havertz, but he outperformed Werner at Chelsea, but you're all agreeing that Werner could do something?
No. I'm not. Listen, I'm not defending the signing.
Question. Because if Kai Havertz comes on loan for 6 months, are we all defending it going...
I'm not defending the signing. I'm just making the point.
But go on.
But I'm just making the point that I think he's on a good point there. I see your point, and you've made a very, very good point there, right? Yes, players need to make themselves known, but Marlon, you know this is a bang average league already, bruv. You know this is a bang average league already.
With the
Look, how many good strikers are in the Premier League and actually in the wider football now? How many good strikers are there?
That I give you.
So this is the point I'm making. It's not people are struggling to get a number 9 now. Yeah, because players have to play to a system. They don't think for their own self. No. You know what I mean? There's no Mavericks in the game anymore. Yeah, there's a reason why people say that Spence and Dele Alli have got attitude problems. Really? Yes, there are problems there. Yes, you need to behave yourself, but there's a reason why they're saying that. Yeah, because they ain't got time. Managers got time for it anymore. For players anymore to work and help them anymore and grow and try and work with their personalities and stuff like that because they haven't got time because they need to win. Yeah. So my point is that I get where you're coming from. That yes, the strikers need to make themselves known. Yes, and they need to play. They need to take their opportunities. Yes, but you can see that. Some of the Chelsea players that have come out, strikers that have come out of Chelsea, have ended up being very good anyway. Case in point, remember Lukaku? Giroud wasn't that bad, and he went to AC Milan. He's not been that bad.
Giroud was good at Chelsea.
He was good at Chelsea, but he's gone to other clubs. He wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but Giroud was good at Chelsea, so that point.
Yeah, but Lukaku.
So Lukaku.
Demba
Ba was good at Chelsea.
But Demba Ba was all right as well.
But Demba Ba was good at Chelsea.
Morata, was it Morata?
Morata, yeah.
Morata's not been great wherever he's gone.
Yeah, but he's been good. He has been good. He went to other clubs and he was all right, wasn't he?
He wasn't all right. He was literally did a job for them.
I think that's the point I'm making.
The point I'm making is, right? I can see the logic of what they're doing, and when you've got Johan Lang and Ange looking at this, and Johan Lang is doing the data-led approach, you can see exactly what they're trying to do at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm not. I
you
get
say
it.
that, but
Listen,
what-
Marlon,
but
you're
like,
making
I
a
asked
very
Ash.
good point.
Yeah, but this
Marlon,
is why I
you're
asked
making
Ash, what data led did Werner tick to go, this is the man that we need?
Because even Ashmatic has said it already. Even Ashmatic has said it already, right? Right. Okay. By the way, I wasn't having a go at you, Marlon, earlier. By the way, because I like it. I like it. Yeah, I like it. But
we're talking. We're having a debate here.
But my point is, yeah, right. And big up to you, by the way, Marlon. To give you your flowers.
But look, even Kev G's mentioned 2 players here as well. Higuain and Torres left Chelsea, and they didn't do nothing. They didn't really do anything once they left Chelsea.
Yeah, I agree with you, but the thing is,
so this is what worries me.
Yeah, I listen. I'm not saying that this is going to work. I said short term, it looks okay. Right? Long term, no. And I've said this on my channel, Mr. Box Office TV, by the way, giving you what I give you scenario as well, by the way. So like and subscribe to that. And it's the latest video as well. The point is, I'm saying is that at the moment, I see what they're trying to do. Now, I'm not saying. Yes, he needs to make himself known. Yes, I don't like this whole thing about, oh, he just needs to score and make an impact. That's okay. No, you need to compete. You know what I mean? Compete for your spot. Like I said, that you need, like the whole squad needs to compete. Even if you're not at that level, you need to be competing, because that's the problem with Tottenham at the moment. There's too much of this, oh, you're at this level. Oh, these are the first teamers. That's why we're not going to win anything. You know what I mean? That's why it's not going to work. And even Ange agrees, it says it as well. Yeah, he's been saying it as well. And I don't even like the guy. And he's saying the same thing I'm saying. Yeah, because you know what I feel about Ange. Yeah,
I don't. So, I still don't. I still need to ask you about that.
You do know, bruv. You know already, bruv. Yeah. So my point is that I hear what you're saying, Marlon. It's a very good point. Yeah, but I see what they're trying to do, because at the end of the day, there is not that many centre forwards at the moment that are perfect at the moment. We had a perfect centre forward, but he was a loser, so he had to leave to go to Bayern Munich. You know what I mean? And get his trophies. You know what I mean? Even though he's a very class striker and he's doing well at the moment, he's making himself now in Bayern Munich.
Say that. It's weird that you say that you see what they're trying to do, but the Werner signing is completely taking me in the opposite direction of what they're trying to do, because I don't get what they're trying to do now. Because if I looked at it and I was looking at statistics and I was looking at everything that we've got, Brennan Johnson fitted it, right? He fitted that mold. He just couldn't. If at the end of the day we knew he couldn't finish, he could kind of finish in the Premier League but couldn't finish. Werner's come in and he's proven at Leipzig in the last couple of years and at Chelsea, and we've seen all the reels of where he's been one-on-one with the goalkeeper and this, that, and the other. And Ash has pointed it out, right? So he's not here to score goals. So he's here to create. My biggest problem then is we've got Richarlison and Johnson who can't finish. So who's he creating for?
Listen, I agree with you.
So this is where I'm looking at going, and this is why my mind's boggling about it all.
Can I just make this point before anybody else comes in? Because I'm sorry, I just wanted to finish this point. I think you're making a fantastic point about the others as well. But the point is, unfortunately, right, Richarlison, right, the below average Emil Heskey, as far as I'm concerned, because everybody knows that there's an Emil Heskey and everyone needs the Emil Heskey, right? And Brendan Johnson, again, Ange's choice again. So again, there's pressure on him again, right?
I don't look at the end of the day. I don't think Johnson on the right. Admittedly, he can't finish, but I think he's. Well,
I'm tired of, but I accept because this is going to be a build, as far as I'm concerned. Even though we're in supposedly a title race at the moment, right? Because
we can't be now.
I accept that Johnson's going to be up and down this season. I accept it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. It's frustrating to watch, but at the same time, we knew what we were getting. Yeah. So, and Solomon was okay. You know what I mean? So, you know, I will say, yeah, I see the point that he needed to get somebody in, because Richarlison, I'm sorry, and Son, like someone said on your rival show, and big up to your rival show, Ashmatic, yeah, but someone said that Son was the best striker, one of the best No, it wasn't on your rival show, actually. It was something else. But someone said that Son was the best captain we've ever seen in our lives. I was like, really? No, Vicari's a better captain all day long. But anyway, moving on. My point is, yeah, I'm saying that at the moment we've only got Son, even though I don't think he's been playing well recently. He's the only clinical striker. You can't have that, right? You need to have competition for places. I see what they're trying to do. He works hard. You can see the metrics that Ashmatic is brilliantly demonstrated already. And I was listening. I was just trying to get my point across and trying to get did it across. So I just think I can see what they're trying to do, but Marlon, you make a very good point. Yes, you should be making excuses. I don't want it is making excuses. Me saying what I said now.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't agree with what Sean said, but I see what he was saying. I see what he was trying to say, and that's it. But you make a very good argument. You make a very good argument.
But for me, I would question him on that Chelsea striker and mention other strikers that Chelsea have had, right? And gone, yeah, it might not work out, but with like for us, it hasn't worked out for strikers. For us, we've just had Kane for the last 10 years. But every striker that's come to us has been, well, can't play his game, or can't score, or can't do this, can't do that, and we've had trouble, right? So, but Kev makes a good point, and I totally agree with it. Who's going to be the number 9 though? So I have to look at it like that with Werner, right? I do have to look at it like that. But it's quite. You're gone.
Yeah, like I completely agree with your point. The fact that Werner is not a clinical finisher is a problem, right? Because either if someone creates for him, he doesn't score, or if he creates, then the others don't score, right?
And this is what I'm worried for.
The only issue I'm seeing right now is no one in the whole Europe fucking scores, right? That's the issue. If you want to bring in a goal scorer, you are slapping 70 or 80 million or someone, right? And we all know that's not going to happen. And let's be like honest about it. Most clubs are not doing those type of businesses in January, right? There have been like single, transfers throughout the years when a club slaps like 80 in January, right? But like I was watching one of the other shows right today, and like someone on the panel said that when you look at it, right, United have Højlund, we have Richarlison, Chelsea has Jackson, Liverpool has Nunez.
Possible Jesus.
Have shit nines, right? Like Bayern have Kane, nice lad, English homegrown by the way. We should be looking at him, right? But but like in all seriousness, like Jimenez, Vlahovic, maybe the two candidates that could probably like be the goal scorers we are looking for, right? But we are not going to bring them in January, so that's why I said like again, I'm not like super happy with the Werner signing, and I think if we were to spend like 30 million on a forward option, I would rather us go for a young, like, dribbling winger.
Well, this is going to be my question, because this was going to be, you've actually made a good point, right? Because all of them teams you've mentioned and who've got their number 9s are totally awful, right? But actually, when you then look at their wingers, the wingers are at a level, all right, apart from United, of course. And that's where the problem is going to lie for us, because then we are relying on Werner, we are relying on Son, and we are relying on Johnson, right? Say, take Richarlison out of the situation now, because he's been playing up top. So what do we do? Because Werner can't finish. Son's obviously the finisher, but we've all said his form recently has dipped, but he can finish. So we're a bit stuck, really.
You basically need the other team members to start producing. We need Madison's. We need the SARS to start producing. Like, I mean, I know how good SAR's been and everyone's raving about him, but now's the time SAR needs to stand up and he needs to start hitting that net straight up. He did it in his last game before African Cup of Nations, but we need consistency from both eights. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even like Dogi, Porro, all of them have to start contributing. Even like Romero's been, to be fair to him, he's been put in the back of the net.
So
everybody needs to be scoring. Everybody needs to be scoring. Yeah. And I think that's what's hurting us at the moment. Sorry, Phil, because I know you need your time. Yeah, but the point is,
I told you, Phil.
but no, because I like Phil. Yeah, and I wanted to give his time. But I just think you're making some very good points that everyone needs to be scoring, because that is what's harming us massively. Yeah, massively. Yeah, because if you're not scoring your chances, you look what happened against West Ham, Aston Villa. Yeah, West Ham were rubbish, but Aston Villa, I'm saying it myself, we were actually not that bad. I was there watching it.
We couldn't take first half, but
so I got a question for all of you on that, because that's a great point.
Absolutely useless, by the way, for Chelsea. By the way,
that's a great. No, Alex, you've made a great point. West Ham and Villa, we've got Werner, right? Does he make a difference to that result? If you being honest, from what you know of Werner, does he make a difference?
No. Well. No.
Yeah. Because look how many chances? Because going by Ash's metrics, Going by
Probably
Ash's
not,
metric,
but-
he creates so many. So is it going to go from 30 chances created to 50, but we're still only getting 1 goal kind of scenario? That's my biggest worry about the situation.
The more chances Richie's got, then technically,
Yeah, Richie probably might score. So maybe
more chance
that's
of scoring.
yeah, maybe that's what it is.
I
Maybe
think that's what it is, because it's not him individually, it's what he does for the team as a unit, if that makes sense. He's like a cog in the wheel.
Yeah.
And if that cog starts performing, then the others start to, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what, for me, I don't know, that's how I see it. And I think that's why they followed him for such a long time. They said both Lange and Ange. And also, like Phil was obviously saying, I feel like Ange is more the man to put the arm around him, whereas Tuchel's not really like that. Tuchel will just switch it up, do different systems, and if you're not performing, then he'll drop you. And that's what happened to Werner. He actually got dropped. He tried to play Werner in the 10 position at one point. He tried to play him as a 10.
But this was my question, and this is why I wanted to ask you about Havertz, right? Because if you look at Havertz and Werner's time at Chelsea, you'd probably say Havertz was the better player.
That's right.
So
correct.
if you look at it on that situation, how can we be sitting there? It cost 60 million, but we're sitting there going, "Oh, Werner's going to be promising," but Arsenal have got the better player out the two.
Because, like I said before, when you play Werner as a lone striker, he's not a lone striker. You need someone off him. And then when you play him in the 10, he's not a 10. Because he was playing in the front three, but when you play the front three narrow, which they were doing, then he doesn't thrive. If he's got space to run into, if you actually play him a little bit wider, you can see by the heat map, he's like a left forward, a left inside forward. He's not a left winger, but he's a left inside forward. And that's what kind of could help him if he's played in that. Bacon runs from out to in, as you saw in the video, rather than in to out. That makes a big difference. Do you know what I'm saying? And especially if you haven't got that space, or if you haven't got that space to run into as well, then that's a big problem as well. So having them out wide, you see how Son starts wide, you see how Johnson starts wide, maybe even against a low block, because when we play, what we do is we try to play at the back to try to draw the team onto us. So we do it on purpose. We do all these little short passes. When a team comes onto us, then Werner's got that space, like how Johnson had all that space against Burnley on that left-hand side, then he's got that chance to kind of run into. And then vice versa, you've got Johnson doing problems, you've got Werner doing problems, then maybe something can go on. I don't know. Phil, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it maybe comes down to systems as well. Like I wonder when we're chasing a game in terms of just that like insertion of pace and a bit of spark or creativity. Finishing, yes, is another thing that Werner might be able to possess that. I just think in a world now where we're having to bring on Scarlett and Højbjerg to try and impact the game, it's just it's just about having the right clientele. So it's like I think we're in quite a desperate situation, to be honest. Which is actually why I'm like, you know what? Let's just see how the 6 months go. Give it a chance. I think we've got our backs are against the wall. Again, didn't expect us getting anyone.
Yeah, to be fair, and I do you know what? I'm sitting there asking these questions. I think I needed persuading, and that's where I'm sitting at with this. And I probably agree with you a lot more. Now I've kind of heard what you guys are thinking and where he's going to play, because yes, I know he can't finish, but I know the other attribute, like you blatantly said pace, straight there. And I think Michael said something about he's going to create the chances as well. And actually, those are the two things. At the end of the day, if Son's going to be around in February, maybe, and when we're chasing the game as well, that's where probably we are going to see the best of Werner. And to be honest, Werner's two best performances that I've seen that he's done were both against Tottenham. One when he played against Chelsea, and one in the cup against Chelsea when he played for Chelsea.
So, bro. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. No.
I know I'm not wrong in what I'm saying.
You're not wrong,
saying
because
is
I think you're making a very good point. You're making a very good point.
But I wasn't excited about it. But what I needed is, because what I was getting to the point of, he wasn't the signing I was expecting. But, But what's happened is that I will be behind him, but I just kind of...
Yeah, but you're all right to be skeptical, though, bro. You're all right to be skeptical. You're not... Like, I'm not having an issue. I don't think you're wrong. You're not wrong at all. You know what I mean? But look at what's going on in 2023. I don't think since...
And I agree.
I agree.
I think Kev G made the point.
right? What striker is out there at the moment? There's the strikers of the era. Like I said, it's all about systems. This game's changing. It's completely changed now. You know what I mean? So you can't find strikers. I respect what Mikel's just said about Vlahovic, but I don't rate him. I think he's just I think he's a hot air.
So you know what? He would be interesting, not in an Allegri system. That's where I think a lot of people, when it comes to Juventus and Allegri seems to, I don't know what it is, but he has a good player and they turn crap, and you're like, and everyone blames Allegri when they come out of it. So it'd be quite interesting to see what
he's a terrorist, Allegri.
Yeah. I don't think players think, like I said before, I don't think players. When you had Ronaldo, I think now the strikers are gone now. Since Ronaldo and Lewandowski and now Harry Kane, I just think the strikers are just not there anymore.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yes,
and I do fear for Scarlett. I really do fear for Scarlett because I think there was a big mistake ending that low Ipswich. You know, I'm really scared. I'm really fear for him.
Do you know what? Him coming on Friday, I thought that the cameo he had, he looked way better than Richarlison did all game. Which was, and it wasn't much, but there was some parts where he looked a bit rusty, but he was getting on the ball when he was trying to do things, and I was thinking, you know what? Yeah. Could this be I
like it,
and I quite like him as well. I'm not going to lie.
I'd rather have him up front than because I think unfortunately for Tottenham at the moment, right, we're going to have to develop a striker like what is it? Brighton are doing with Evan Ferguson.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're going to have to do. You know what I mean? Because I think there will be more leniency. This is why I was saying I was frustrated with Ange not playing the youngsters before, because I think there's more leniency with the youngsters than playing Emerson when we know what we're going to get with Dier and Emerson. You know what I mean? When everyone was saying at the beginning of the season, this is a build. You know what I mean? So, by that metric, why are we not doing it? You know what I mean? Why was there no conversation here? You know what I mean? And I think, let's remember, Harry Kane had how many loans? Before he got his chance?
Yeah.
And the only reason why he got his chance because Soldado absolutely flopped.
Yeah.
And Adebayor was absolute idiot. You know what I mean? So
he fell out. He fell out with Poch, didn't he, Adebayor?
Yeah. One thing with Dane Scarlett, I have to give praise to the guy. He actually looks like a man right now, not like a kid, basically, right? Because I think 2 or 3 years ago, Mourinho gave him a check. No, I think it was Nuno. We were playing in the Conference League or Europa League, and he came on and he was just getting bullied. Getting thrown around, and he actually looks quite bigger, right? He went from the 17-year-old boy to a 20-year-old, almost like a man in terms of the broadness.
It's a shame that Gil hasn't got the message, Mikel, isn't it? It's a shame that Gil hasn't got the message, isn't it?
Man.
You know what I mean? Bloody hell! How many years does it have to take for someone to know about to get stronger? And Scarlett's already got the message already. So why has Gil not got the message, Mikel? Ask me the question. Yeah, and some people said he played well against Burnley. Please, honestly, should be shipped off back to Spain, and that's it. Sorry to interrupt you, Mikel. Sorry about that.
No worries, mate. I honestly think they should send Hill to Ash and just let him, do his job.
Yeah,
we probably had more loaning him out than we had actually playing him. So
that was the worst deal to get rid of Lamela. That was the worst deal ever. And I actually have to apologise to him. I apologise to you, Lamela. I apologise.
Eric,
when I was criticising you, I apologise because that was the worst deal going. Yeah, I said we needed to sell you. We should never have sold you. Sorry, Mikel. Sorry. Oh gosh.
So, Ash, let's move on to the deal that's probably broken everybody today. It still could happen. It might happen. You never know. He might pick, if he hasn't heard of Harry Kane, he might pick us. Drăgușin, what happened?
Well,
can I ask a question, right? Can I ask a question?
It's up in the air.
Are we the best negotiators in town, right? Because what seems to be happening with the top clubs are going, you know what? We like that player because we're coming in, right? They're going to quote 80, 90 million. Tottenham ain't going to pay that. Let's get Tottenham to bid first when they accept it.
come like it, and then piggyback off the back of the deal because it's like it's mad. It's like the first day, boom, the deal's done. Not the deal's done. We're linked with the player. Things are moving on.
Pinned on to Romano.
Yeah, Romano's like everyone calm. Like remember, I got 4 days in. People start panicking a little bit. Romano's like everyone calm, stay calm. Man did the whole yoga bear thing, like chill out, and pinned it on his conversation. So guys, just be easy, innit? Stay calm, relax. 2-2s, man. We're hearing raw, boom, boom. What Napoli? Even before Napoli, I swear there was someone else. I swear there was like another team. Anyway, Napoli might be in. Napoli might be in. So a couple Spurs fans are getting the jitters because obviously we got PTSD from other situations, from other transfers where people, Liverpool, taking our players that, you know, apparently we're linked with. But yeah, everyone's like, stay calm. We're still going to get him. It's all right. It's all right. Napoli, they ain't got peas like us. They ain't got the money. Agents talking. Remember, agents doing the most, just talking. So everyone's like, ask agent talk. They're just pushing up the fee. This is how it works. You know, we put an offer out, you know, we agree the personal terms first, and then we put like a little fee and we do it slowly. It's all part of it. You don't go in with your highest bid first. Come on, like this is how you do negotiations properly, innit? So back and forth. Some people were like, believe me, because we've seen it before, innit? Believe me. But everyone's like, no, it's not a Levy thing. Just relax. Remember, Scott Munn's in charge. Lange is there. Paratici's consulting someone. Like he knows him from back in the day, way back when. You know what I'm saying? So that's all good. We've got this one. Bayern Munich entering the door. Like the bully. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the bully just hiding behind the sheet like that. 2-2s. Bayern Munich now. Like everyone thought, oh, it's whatever. He's not going to go there. We've got the Lit there. They've got Kingman J there. They've got Upamecano there.
Yeah.
These times, Kingman J's in the Asia Cup, you know, the Lit ain't really been performing. And now it's looking like they're coming in. They're looking interested. No one's taking it serious. Oh, they haven't put a bid down. It's all talk. Still the agent talk. Now they put the bid in. Now
the schlong is on the table.
Exactly.
And they bidded more.
And they bidded more, bro. We tried to throw with a young,
tiny bit bigger, you know.
Hey, listen, we tried to throw with a young G. We said, yeah, take one of our youngers. Spence, you like him, Spence. They were like, boy, all right, cool, we accept the bid, but now it's down to Drăgușin. Now it's down to him. And then he's like, I don't know, I need some time to think about it. And the thing is, he can take as long as he wants. We're the ones that are desperate. We're the ones that want him to start against Manchester United. But he could take, look, he's got the whole January. Do you know what I'm saying? But Bayern probably will look to wait it out. I don't know if Tottenham are. That's the problem. I don't think Tottenham wants someone now. And that's the reason why we were linked. Because remember, we were linked with a couple of defenders and was like, rah, why do these defenders keep popping up? Because this one should be done and dusted. Like, why is this? Because everyone was like brushing off the other defender transfer talks. I don't even know. Let's not even look at him because this Drăgușin is going to get done. But now it's on the knife edge. We don't know. Like, we know how Spurs, like Willian, we know what happened there. So, like, I'm not mad at the fans. I still have a little bit of hope. I personally, I'm talking for myself. I still think it can get done. I don't know when. That's the thing. I don't know when, and I don't know if Spurs are going to have the patience to weigh it out. That's why.
Well, the thing is right, and I think this is where a lot of people, we were told, and probably was all expecting, and that it'd be done before the Man United game.
Yep.
And what I think, and I want to go to Phil. I think the thing that's really dragged on a little bit and has really peed everybody off is that Genoa wanted £30 million or euros. I can't remember which one it was. Right? They wanted 30 million for him. And in the end, that's what's been negotiated. And it's taken 9 days. But a big problem's happened since then. When you're desperate for a defender and you're going to negotiate, other people will start doing their metrics and go, why are Tottenham going after this defender for? And we'll go, oh, hold on. He's quite good. Let's bring him here. So with you, how are you feeling that? Why did it take so long just to finally get to the fee they wanted?
Spurs, you couldn't get more Spurs if you tried. Everything, for some reason, So we always make quick signings when it's a surprise and out of the blue. But whenever it's a player that we somewhat, excusing Madison, Solomon, really quick deal out of nowhere. Wouldn't say that necessarily our fans wanted Solomon, but it was out of the blue. But for some reason, whenever it's a player that feels like it bears a lot of weight, like might change the game, Luis Diaz.
Bit like Van der Ven, to be honest.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, Van der Ven, I think we were actually lucky with us, like, because it was Dragon, then Liverpool were having a bit of a snip around. We're actually lucky we tied that together, but it always happens. It's always when I see we're in talks around the fee, I think, we're going to try and lowball this team, thinking that they're going to, we're going to be able to, because we've been lucky with squeezing out certain deals and different packages and whatever. But as days progress, the other teams that are happy to just pay the damn money, at a click of a finger, Bayern Munich were like, cool, yeah, we just pay it. Do you know what I mean? No dilly-dally, no trying to get, 27 million pounds and 50. Do you know what I mean? Like, just pay the money. But to be honest, I actually think it actually serves us right. Well, it serves Levy and that right for dragging out negotiations. If you want to play, just get the player. Yes, we're not that team, unfortunately. Like, we know we're not going to spend, massive big bucks on players. But if you're going to then be clever with money, you just pay the fee that's being asked. 30 million, guys. 30 million, and already could have been holding up the shirt, getting ready to play for United. But here we are, signing a left winger, a left forward, still ahead of a CV, which Ange's actually said countless times, I want a centre back. We need a centre back. We've sent Phillips. He's obviously not ready on loan. Even that's an indicator that we need the player. And here we are now waiting on a player to make the decision, where we could have actually, in my opinion, I think we could have just got wrapped up days ago. Like, what? How much money were we trying to squeeze? Do you know what I mean? In terms of getting a reduction of 2 million, 3 million pounds. But we've done it. We've done it so many times. And my kind of, I guess it leads to a question almost back called Todibo, first option, not available. Drăgușin, 50-50. Where do we go after this? Lloyd Kelly injured, is quite injury prone. So in terms of getting someone to come in now, I just don't know. I actually don't know where we turn, but it'd be great to get, I know, Paratici and them, they build a long list of loads of players that they kind of go for, but I actually don't know where we turn after this one, because this was kind of the second alternative. Like a wonderfully, VDV was a response to us not getting taps over. Great. But then who's our third or fourth option? I've got no idea. But I'm really annoyed, to be honest, because I just feel like we do this a lot. 9 days later, and still not got the player, still not got what we desperately needed first, more than anything.
So, Michael, actually, and Kev's kind of stolen my thunder with this question a little bit. And I was going to say to you, most people would say, look, Levy was trying to get the best deal for Tottenham, right? And if he had negotiated a lower fee, we would have been up and down. Like, fans would have been rejoicing. Oh, see, we didn't have to pay it. We got the best deal for Tottenham. But also at the same time, we don't know. Whatever we would have negotiated, like I said, I would know I was taking the piss. But if we would have negotiated a smaller fee, how do we know Bayern weren't going to come in afterwards and drop whatever we were going to drop anyway?
Yeah, so with negotiations, I always try to be a bit have a bit of a softer approach towards the Levy camp, etc. Right? Because listen, we rely on Romano and all those other guys to know what's going on, right? But in reality, we don't really know what's going on, right? Literally, maybe they just phoned them, 1st of Jan, and listen, we offer you 22 plus 4, let's say, right? And then, if you want to be stereotypical, the Italians saw the message and they were like, okay, a tea break, we'll eat something, we'll think about it. They had the meeting, the meeting went into a party, and on the second they were just like, nah, we want 30, right? So on the second, Levy goes like 24 plus 3, and now we want 30, right? On the fourth, 24 plus 4, and they were like, yeah, but Napoli give us 24 plus a player, right? And I get it, right? If you want to do a big dick move and just slap it on the table and here it is, just take it or leave it, right? We can do that. I get it, right? I get the frustration that we are not that type of club that just once a player goes there, slaps it on the table, sorry, and and we get the player that we want. But that's the way it is, right? I think. Yeah, I agree with the commenter. Maybe if we bid 30, then Bayern would have bid 30, right? By the way, I also have that's my sneaky theory that they are just doing this on purpose. They were so pissed off with Levy and the whole Kane saga that first they just tickled our balls with the whole Dier situation. They made us believe that we are going to get rid of Dier. And then they waited for us to find the target and just slapped it on the table. As I said, slapped the biggest shrunk on the table, just as this type of move towards Levy. That's honestly my sneaky suspicion, right? But I think, on a serious note, right? I think this whole saga has been a bit tedious to follow. I'm just honestly a bit bored, and my excitement of getting a new player, of researching the guy, finding how he plays, etc. It's long gone, right? It died. If we get him over the line, I'm super happy. I think the guy has a lot of potential, right? But if we don't, I hope we move quickly to another target, right? I'm at this point that if tomorrow it is announced that he chose Bayern over us, first of all, I wouldn't be surprised. It's fucking Bayern.
Of course. I think we're all in the same boat,
Let's be honest about it. And second, if it happens, I hope we are in for that Loic Badé guy from Sevilla, or there is this defender in Torino, Buongiorno. I think his surname is. He looks quite promising, right? Per Schurz was a promising guy, but he got injured, right? I think there is plenty of other targets in Europe in that price bracket that we can go for. So I just hope we have something lined up so we can quickly move on. And let's be honest, I think even if tomorrow it is announced that he chose Spurs, I don't think he will be ready to play against United. So I think that train is gone. So yeah, I honestly, it pissed me off. By the way, I kind of liked Bayern before summer. Lewandowski played there. I'm Polish, right? So it's always been whenever I had the chance, I watched Bayern. But after that Kane saga and after this now, they can F right off, right? I don't like them anymore.
Alex, you hate transfers. You hate all the whole saga drama. But was this quite disappointing to you when you heard the news today, or was you like, this is just typical Spurs?
To be honest, I'm not angry. I don't care. I know my club. I've known my club for a long time. I don't even know why we get angry anymore, because we know what our club's like.
So why are you getting mad? So why are you getting mad that Emerson plays then? If you know what your club's like?
Well, no, because after watching it, I'll go to the stadium. Why am I getting angry for when I know what my club is all about? The problem is with Tottenham fans is that when we do something right, Levy, well done. It's like, well, you're doing your job, bro. You're getting paid enough to do your job. So you know what I mean? Get paid handsomely, bro. You know what I mean? So sorry, you're not getting no plaudits from me. You're getting my money every single week going to the game. So you could take that and just be happy with that. You know what I mean? Sorry, but this is the thing. I'm just like, I actually think the deal's going through to Tottenham because I think the guy wants to go to the Premier League.
Yeah,
that's just me. He's been saying it how many times? He said he wants to go to the Premier League.
That's the thing I'm holding out for.
Because it's the best league in the world for entertainment, not quality. Entertainment, yeah, like you're watching EastEnders, yeah, or the Wolves of Wall Street, the movie. You know what I mean? Yeah, or Spider-Man 2.
Alex, I'm actually going to agree with you there, and I think this is what we kind of. So he's Romanian, right? Let's be honest about this whole situation. If he's looking at it as a bigger perspective here, the Premier League is such a bigger advert for him.
Yeah,
compared to the Bundesliga.
It's not
right?
the Bundesliga, by the way, but I don't agree with the Farmers League. Yeah,
No, it's not a Farmers League. I don't agree with that. But what I'm talking about is advertising everything, right? He's what, 21?
Yeah.
Long term, say he does choose Tottenham, right? 4 years, yeah, say minimum he stays at Spurs, right? As long as he does well and no injuries or nothing, and he is the player that we all expected it to be, he'll be a household name. He'll get his move to Manchester City. They'll come in for him.
By the way, this player,
when Adge goes to manage Man City after us,
yeah, because I said he's not going to be here more than 2 years. But the point I'm making is, he comes in, he's competing with Van der Ven and Romero. By the way, I'm not even this rubbish saying, oh, he's second string. No, because then he's not successful. He's not successful for me. Yeah. You're here to compete with Romero and Van der Ven, because when Romero goes on his heat map, goes on his heat rage and gets a red card, right. You don't do what Davis and Emerson do, You play well, do your job, and then Van again backs back into the team like status quo again. No, that's not how it works. It's not in big teams. No, you compete for your place. You know what I mean? You need to compete for your place to get your place back. You know what I mean? That's how it works in top clubs. So if he's coming in, you're coming to play for the first team, not to sit on the bench. Then you start moaning and get apology letters. No, I'm sorry, I'm not having that.
But
you know what I mean?
But what I do agree with you, and I think the sense of actually, there's going to be points where Doggy gets dropped and Van der Ven goes left back, and I think we've missed that. Where there's been times that Doggy's probably had to play more minutes than he was probably expecting. Yeah, and I think,
Why do you think Arsenal not playing well at the moment? Because most of those players, Martinelli is getting a free reign, literally a free reign of playing absolute rubbish. Yeah, because no one's competing with him.
Saka has been.
He's not. No one's competing with him. Yeah, which is what I said. Why I say it's a bang average league. Because why are you doing it one season, and not turn up next season? That's not what top players do. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that's why he's got no competition. Yeah, so I don't understand this whole thing about, oh, we love Van der Ven, we love Romero, we've got to play. No, because that's exactly what we're complaining about with Poch.
Yeah.
So what are we doing?
Yeah. No.
What are we doing? We got Kulu, who's living off that reign on Conte when we got Champions League, when he's been absolutely bang average. Yeah, in the wing, because he's more fullback than an actual winger. Yeah, actually, at number 10, at number 8, he's actually better. You know what I mean? Then we've got Lo Celso. Yeah, the Argentinian Tom Carroll. Yeah, the Argentinian Tom Carroll. Yeah, honestly, I don't even want to go there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Get the show.
You know. Again, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest. You know, so it's like, I'm sorry. It's time now. And the thing is, Kulu's not doing a better job. He's not doing a good job because Maddison's gonna go back into the team straight away. How is that gonna work for Tottenham? How is that gonna work? And you wonder why we were called Kane FC. Yeah, and that was me that said it, by the way. The first one. Yeah, the first one that said Højbjerg's bang average. And look what everybody's saying right now. You know what I mean? Sorry, Ellie. I know you're the queen. If you're listening, I do apologise because you're lovely. You appreciate it in the fan base. I do appreciate you. Back to you, Marlon. I'm done.
So Ash, the Tom Carroll comment. We won't comment. But no, Phil asked a great question, and it's, who else are we looking at?
Yeah, it's this guy here. Look, I can't pronounce his name. Badé. I put Blade. I call him the Blade. So he's 24 years old. No, 23. He's going to be 24 in April. 23 years old, French international, under 21. He's played at that level. Can play either left side of centre back or right side of centre back. He's played at both sides. Played under Seville at the moment. He's currently there, but he was on loan from Reims. Played at Forest as well, at loan as well, level.
Ash, stop.
Yo.
On that Forest situation, because it was Steve Cooper that had him.
Yeah.
What happened? Do you know anything what happened there? Because I was trying to work out, because Steve Cooper can get the best out of Spence, but why is he not playing this guy?
I don't know. It depends, because the age of him then, I don't know.
Because this is when they first got promoted,
This
right?
was, yeah, this is when they first got promoted. It's a good question. I don't know. I haven't researched too much into that
Okay.
Forest stint, so I don't have the
It'd be
answer.
interesting because he's gone on to do
I
really
don't.
well.
I need to look into that. To be fair, I don't have the answers to that. But
Go on, Michael.
no,
Yeah, I think this was their championship season because he didn't play in the Prem.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that
yeah,
they
it would have been. It would have been. Yeah,
because
Yeah,
you're right.
Forest. And by the way, the guy is 3 years younger than me. What the hell? I'm approaching that age. That footballers are starting to. I'm not that old, but come on.
So yeah, he's played Seville in a number of formations in a 5-3-2, in a back three, and also in a 4-2-3-1. So he's able to play in our system, and it means he's quite flexible in terms of football IQ and positioning and where to be. There's heat map. You can see on the right hand side, predominantly. The heat map is quite big, actually, quite large. It actually goes past the halfway line as well, so it shows that he's got characteristics where he's comfortable on the ball. Interesting assists in the green and non-penalty goals as well for a defender in the top 5 leagues. He ranks 62 percentile, so it's quite a good stat. That means his passing, actually, his team might not have a lot of the ball, but when he does pass, is quite accurate, it's quite precise, and that's a figure I kind of look at if a defender can assist at that type of rate. Successful take-ons as well, I'm looking at 61 percentile in his take-on. So again, I know Ange likes players that can carry the ball, and the metrics below, you've got tackles, interceptions, blocks, and clearances, again all in the green, but 84 percentile in terms of tackles is really high. But yeah, actually looking at his play, headers, can see that he knows how to position himself, which is important. Means he's got good football IQ as well. His actual course is quite strong, so he's got a stiff header, knows where to be to kind of jump and being agile and be in that position to win it. And it's quite a few headers that he wins here, so that's a big attribute. I know we're looking at Drăgușin for his headering, but this guy, again, elite, knows where to be, when to intercept, how to get in between the sticks, where to block those headers. And even on set pieces, again, he's good in heading. In possession, he's very comfortable, able to bring it out from the back. Even after intercepting the ball, he's able to read the game and just bring that ball forward. Takes quite a few touches before releasing it as well. But yeah, unlike a Davies or maybe a Emerson Royale, he looks a little bit more reassured. He's able to start that attack. You can see he got balls from over the top as well. So the passing range is there as well, able to find people in the channels. But again, switches of play, comfortable from out the back. Lots of players panic in that position. He's able to play it back to the keeper. And even in that final third, you can see him pushing forward. Those are the deep diving passes, acting a little bit like a DM there, in fact. Passing across the box. Defending now, that's the main attribute we want to look at. Here he is, again, positionally very strong because he knows where to be on the pitch to intercept those balls. There is a bit of recovery as well, but there he is again. A lot of the time, he's staying on his feet. He's not just blocking and intercepting, but he's on his feet quite a bit. So that just shows me that he's able to read the game. That's a very strong attribute you need as a defender. Knowing when to step up. A lot of people get that wrong and commit fouls or play through other players, but the fact that he's able to step in and get that ball and time it right shows that he is a top quality defender. And also, yeah, his actual tackling itself, the gate where he's able to get his foot around someone and just block that ball, again, shows that he's a good defender. Blocks as well. He's able to block a lot of passing lanes, cut those crosses out, cut those through balls out, stop the crosses coming into the 6-yard box. He's able to read it. So it shows that he's got great intelligence, great awareness. And he's, as I said, because he's played in the back 2 and the back 3, he knows when to pull wide and cover his fullbacks, but then he also knows how to hold position to read up and stop those balls from coming in. But yeah, that's the player that we're looking at. And I actually like him. If we don't get to Drăgușin, I think on the ball, I'm more impressed. Like from Drăgușin, I haven't seen many clips of him where he's carrying the ball out from the back, where he's assured, passing out from the back. I know that's not their style in Torino. And obviously Drăgușin's known to get those balls over the top. But there's this. I like to see a lot of evidence when I'm looking at a defender, especially like a modern day defender when you're playing at the back. He almost reminds me of, dare I say it, like he's not him, but similar to Saliba, kind of like on the ball calmness. That calmness that he's French as well. Played in a few different systems. That's what I kind of like. And it's just the headering. That's what was more key for me. The way he defends those headers, I like that. I like this kid.
Yeah, so like for me with Drăgușin, right? Like purely as a defender, I think the guy is really good, right? He's aggressive, like sometimes even too aggressive. He has that like also similar to Romero, right? But
aggression.
Yeah, he's good at tackling, slide tackles, headering of the ball. He's like amazing, right, at that. But his passing stats are actually like quite mid, I would say. And I think if we brought him in, I think we rely more on hope that he can develop into a good passing defender, right? Because he's young, Ange can develop him, whatever, right? I think with the guys like Badé, but Loic is easier, right? With the guy from Sevilla or the guy from Nice, Todibo. Yeah, with those type of guys, I think they are more established, and I think they play at a bit of a higher level. Both of them, right? I know Sevilla are a shit show this season, but overall, like they are playing in better teams with more established, sometimes more progressive systems, right? And like listen, Nice, by the way, have been like terrific defensively this season with our Polish goalkeeper. By the way, I have to throw that in. But yeah, like those two guys, yeah, they are more established, right? So if the price is similar for the Sevilla guy, I'm all for it, right? If Drăgușin says tomorrow that he prefers Bayern, I hope we are on that guy's case, right? The only issue I would have is that Sevilla just bought him, right? It's similar thing with Drăgușin too, but I think both Drăgușin and Loic, I think they were both bought in the summer.
It's the release clause that we're going to trigger. I think it's 35 million. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, okay. Then if that's the case, I think if it's not Drăgușin, then and if it's not Todibo, because Todibo will be probably pricier, right? So I think that this guy looks promising, right?
Yeah. I only push back on the whole thing about the stats about the passing, right? Yeah, and I'm not. The only thing because you know me, Mikhail. I don't care about stats. Yeah, you know me, right? But the point is that I think they were saying a lot of stuff about Vicario, right? Yeah. And yes, it's very early. It is very early, but the guy has been absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and this is Mr. Box Office speaking here, yeah, because I've seen this guy, yeah, saving, making fantastic saves, and because of his saves, we've won games.
Stats too as well, you know.
Huh? Yeah, but no, because I see it myself. I've seen it.
Yeah, but I've seen it. Just saying.
So I'm not going to just base it on stats because I'm sorry, I don't listen to stats. I don't do stats. I see what I see, and this guy's been very good. And there was issues. There were people thinking about his passing because he doesn't play. So I think there is more to just. I think we have to look at the context. You know what I mean? And I think I can see why they're looking at the Dragovic. If I've got that wrong, so I do apologise. But I see what with Ashmatic brilliantly showing that other defender from Seville. I mean, absolutely. I mean, I see why we're looking at him as well. So I think they're very good options. It's just that we need to just make a decision and make it done, and just get it done as far as I'm concerned. But again, I'm not going to get angry about that because we know what our club's like, so I don't care about that. You know what I mean? It's up to them if they want to get a defender in or not. But I think I think those options, even I say Lloyd Kenny, I think we've got to be happy with. You know what I mean? Because at least then we've got defenders that want to compete. Yeah, and I'm looking at those defenders; they should be wanting to compete, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? Because I'm sorry. Van der Ven, even though someone on another show disagreed with me, it's got an easy reign, yeah, and that hamstring's going to pull again. It will pull again for speed merchant. That's the worst injury for a speed merchant like Van der Ven. And Romero, I don't trust him.
Yeah,
sorry.
And also, they beat Manchester United. I can't remember if it was the Champions League, but they beat Man U, or was it Europa? And he scored a header. They beat them 3-0 at Seville.
Europa last season, I think.
Was it last season? Yeah. Yeah, I remember him scoring a header.
Europa last season, I think.
So in the air, like he is that guy. Like, just in case people are thinking they're not sure about it. Aerially, he's a top player.
Yeah, so like the reason why I said that we are like banking on the development of the guy, right? But we did the same thing with Van de Ven. If you looked at like Van de Ven's stats from Bundesliga and his experience and all that shit, right? Like he wasn't impressive stats wise, right? His highlights were quite good, right? But listen, I can make highlights of Eric Dier and they will probably be slapping, right? So you sometimes like have to like listen. Those guys have like 100 times more data and availability of footage and data analysis and all that shit, right? So if they landed on Drăgușin, this is a bit of a risk, right? But if this is their target, then go for it, right? All I'm saying is just that the Timo and Loic, they look more established already, right? So it is a bit of a like less risk involved in those deals, right? But of course you have to pay more. That's one thing. And the second thing is, yes, it's a bit less risky, but probably like you can also make the case that then Drăgușin can be a better player, right? Because he has more room to develop, right? Whereas those guys being 24, 25, they already like start reaching the way they are supposed to be, right?
Spot on.
It's frustrating. It is frustrating. I've got to be honest. It is frustrating for people, isn't it? But I'm like I said, I'm not going to get angry about it because I know what my club is. So I thought you were going to pass it on to somebody else.
Yeah. No, I was going to say before I get to Phil, there is one more defender we're looking at, and I'll try to storm through it. I don't think I'll play the whole clip. It's only 2 minutes, but I just wanted to bring him up because I did mention him last week. And this guy, he plays for he plays for Atalanta. It's the last bit, and then I'll let Phil chime in. But this kid his name is, let's play it quickly. His name is Scalvini. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Scalvini, Atalanta player. Let me rewind that back real quick. Hold on. Sorry, let's play that again. He is 20 years old, so he's a young buck. Contract runs out in 2028, but can play across the whole back line, defense, all three positions. Has played in a back three or back five before. There he is on the right hand side. There's his heat map. You can see his heat map is just crazy. Like, he's everywhere on that defensive half. And in the final third, he's not too far back as well. It kind of goes up the pitch too. But yeah, let's just see his metrics. His metrics are through the roof. This is why I looked at him as well. I won't even. There's no point in me talking about this. It's green everywhere. It's just crazy. He's just crazy. Goal threat. He's goal threat. He gets numbers. He gets headers in the air. He's tidy with his finishing. Like, he gets in the right position. And obviously, this is a defender. I'm not looking for a defender to score goals or be tidy with their feet, but I just wanted to bring him up because I just thought he was an exception. Dribbling as well. Really good at dribbling, as you can see, bringing the ball out from the back, able to progress the ball over the top, find players, beat players for fun, quick as well, passing, range, playing from deep again, switches of play, on numerous occasions able to progress the ball. But defending, that's what we look for defenders at. Really good defender, good at reading the game, anticipating, getting blocks in, gets down. He's brave. I think that's what I like about him, the bravery of the kid. He's only 20 years old, but he gets stuck in. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's got more time to fill out, more time to grow. But he doesn't shy away. I think that's what I like about him most. Gets down and dirty, knows when to pull wide as well and help his other fullbacks, help his centre backs. But again, just blocking those passing lanes, reading the game, able to intercept, step in front of the defenders, and just step up. But the reason why I mentioned this kid as well is because we've actually been linked with him as well. not many links that you'll see at the moment, but I'm sure if this deal doesn't go through, you'll hear a lot more about this kid. So I thought you might as well have a sneak peek. I'll probably do another video on him again as well. But again, his pace, the recovery pace is there, but his strength as well. For someone that looks quite slight, he's really strong on the ball and able to step up. And again, I don't mind that he goes to ground sometimes because it just shows that his heart's in the sleeve. I like those type of defenders that all or nothing. Do you know what I mean? But has technique with it. So he's not just a person that goes to ground for ground's sake, in my opinion. But yeah, that's another player we were linked with. You close that. Cool, Phil, man. Obviously, we've looked at a couple of defenders. Which one would you prefer?
Mate, yeah, at this point, any of them. Get someone in. Get someone in. That's just like where I'm at right now. I mean, he looks really good, to be fair. Yeah, to be honest, like I think just sort of echoing the same points that's been raised today. I think like the reality is with Romero particularly, and we do need competition for Van der Ven too. I think him being the more sort of volatile CB, it's just every game is a risk, man. Every game that might be of some kind of importance or anything. You know, we just need to look at the kind of potential, even longer term solutions in that position. So, yeah, not being picky, to be honest, even between the three of them, if Drăgușin doesn't work out, get the brother from Seville. If he doesn't work out, get this guy. You know what I mean? They look like all players, I think, have bundles of potential, even in their like slight difference of age. But we just have to get someone. We can't be talking about, you know, we can't be a week on still talking about a centre back, which is the conversation that we'll have towards the end of the summer or the summer window. Now in the January window, and we still haven't got someone in. Yeah, get any of them in. It's a really, really short answer, but I think we just have to do something at this point.
Harry Maguire, anybody?
Harry.
But like in all honesty, tossing a Darabaya from Fulham, right? Bring the guy in. If he's the possibility, then I'm fully open to it. By the way, he's from a City academy, right? So, you know, we have one defender from City's academy, Pedro Porro. Like not academy, but you know, was part of the City group, right? So yeah, like bring the guy in.
I agree with Mikel. I do. I really do agree, because at the end of the day, I'm fed up with seeing Dier. I don't see the point. I don't see the point. You know what I mean? Because we know what we're getting with him. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'd rather see a new defender in, because at least I'll give him a chance. And I can't do Emerson there anymore. I'm sorry. Yeah, and then people saying, "Oh, well, he's the next best thing as a next Cafu," which was absolute nonsense under Conte. Honestly, you know what I mean? This is Tottenham fans, a gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, telling me that this guy is the next Cafu. Yeah?
Does anyone think that Dier, the whole Bayern Munich situation, was a mad smokescreen? Like they were just literally messing with us. You think it was?
It might be.
No. As I said, I have a sneaky suspicion. You know, just ticking the balls and suddenly slunk on the table. You know.
So personally, I think the Dier interest was real, right? Because they basically what Harry Kane is basically lonely at in Bayern Munich. He wants another English guy to go out there and they're going to look after their biggest asset. So I think it was real. But they thought they were going to get Eric Dier for free.
Yeah.
Now, what? And then they've gone to Tottenham and gone, oh, why are you releasing him or not? Because we're interested in getting him. Like, we don't want to pay a fee. Daniel Levy's gone, oh, you're interested? Oh, we want £2 million for him. They're like, no, hold on, but wait. This ain't happening. So they've seen the Drăgușin and gone, all right, screw you for basically fucking up Dier. We'll go and take Drăgușin off you. That'd be something they will do because they're a bit bigger club. Or something along those lines. I think the Dier interest might have been real, and I still think it is real. I think they will, because Tuchel was talking about him apparently, and he said that he wasn't even going to play him centre back. He's playing him in midfield.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well.
Which, for me, I've always said, as a midfielder, I don't actually mind Dier as a midfielder, but at the moment he doesn't fit in our midfield because Bentancur, Basuma move the ball quicker than he does.
Mhm.
So, but if it came down to him or Skip, I know who I'm picking, and that's just the way it is. But
You're saying that Dier is in midfield before Skip?
yeah,
Okay, is it up, bruv? Alone then. Ship me up alone then. If you're saying that right now, bruv, you ship me up alone. Oh my gosh, Marlon, your takes are fantastic today, bruv.
I'm on one. I'm on one. I don't know why I'm on one either.
You're on one today, bruv. My gosh, bro. Click
but-
this show, bruv. Click this show, bruv, man. That is a good one.
And the
We need
thing
to
is,
skip offload then.
the reason why I say that, right? If you look at Dier, so you take Dier back before Mourinho came, right? He was a midfielder, right? He got injured. He got injured under Poch, right? So all his best performances for Spurs was a midfielder. Once he went into centre back, all of us turned against him.
Yeah, we were calm with him when he was next to Dembele.
Yeah.
When he was next,
I'm in the
Oh,
mud
that's
because I was
wrong.
saying that he was a good defender. And then
No.
David Harris. I was arguing with David Harris for how long? How long?
I
And then I
remember
had
he
to
went.
apologise to him.
Yeah,
I had to
I remember.
apologise to him.
I'll never forget. He played. I think we played a free Arsenal, and he went centre back. And I
Yeah,
said,
right.
I never want to see him there again.
Correct.
That was under Poch. I never want to see him a defender again. He can play right back to a certain extent.
Yeah, that's where he started.
That's where he started. But he's better as a defensive midfielder because he can make the mistakes he makes in defense and not get caught.
Yeah. Facts.
Right.
It's-
And he
it-
does,
it's
and he's good
more
with his
for me
feet.
then, 'cause I
He's
should
good
do
with
it.
his feet. Like he does move, he can move the ball, but but now that we've moved on from that, like I look at Bentancur and Basuma and go, they move the ball a lot quicker than Dier does.
To be
I
fair,
also
to be
think
fair.
that
Go
Right.
on, go on.
if he played in a low block team like West Ham, for example, or Sean Dyche's Burnley, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this as a disrespect. I actually think he would be quite a quality defender for those type of teams because the worst Dier nightmare is running back towards his own goal, chasing an attacker and trying to put in a tackle, right? He doesn't do that. But one thing he does quite well is heading the ball out, right? I think like when we played against City at our own ground under Conte, like I don't want to say this, but he kind of had Haaland in his pocket.
No, he did.
Area
He did. Yeah, he did.
right?
That was when Conte was
Like,
listening.
we had 22%
And you wonder
of
why I called
possession
him
and
above average John Carew. Anyway,
you know.
moving on.
11 men in the box, like just heading the ball out, right? That was his task, and he actually did it quite well, right? But as soon as he has to run towards his own goal, that's where the guy is. Like he's too slow. He's 30. He's just too slow at this point, right? It's mad, man.
Just I'm on one of Spurs right now, Alex. So I'm having some serious takes right now. I don't know.
You're spot on. You know what I mean? I was a fool because I thought he looked good. I thought it was a masterstroke, to put him in defence, and then it was Conte, and then people called him Virgil van Dijk. You know what I mean? That's what thought. They might have thought, oh, we got Virgil van Dijk in our team now. We got Virgil van Dijk. We should go for Virgil van Dijk. I mean, honestly, what an absolute joke, honestly.
But do you remember when he played, like when we went to Stamford Bridge, and I think he was in defence against Chelsea the year we beat them. Him and Lloris, as soon as him and Lloris got anywhere near each other, we should have seen the signs then.
Yeah.
Well, you should have seen the signs when last season when Rashford absolutely rinsed him to pieces.
Yeah, but we saw the signs.
Absolutely rinsed
We
him
saw the
to
signs
pieces.
for it, and I just think, and for him, right, this is where I think he made the massive mistake, right, because he's the one who wanted to move in defence.
Yeah.
That's right.
And if he had stayed in midfield, he would have been ahead of Rice because that's where they were at stages. He would have probably been where Rice is now.
Dyer should have been out the team when Rashford, and I saw it myself at Man United, he absolutely completely annihilated him. Yeah, it was like he was ahead of the ball, and literally Rashford just went boom.
Yeah.
Scored the goal. He should have been out. He should have been out the door by then. You know what I mean? He should have said, "See you later. There's your ticket out the door. That's it done." You know what I mean?
That pass.
That was Rashford at his best. Look at Rashford right now, man. He can't buy a goal. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's back to type again. You know
that pass back to Salah when we played Liverpool
Man,
Summed him up
for the second goal. Like You know, the shittiest thing was that even though he kept doing shit like this, we didn't have a defender to bring on in his place, right? Because we were playing three of them, and Sanchez was even worse. So, we have those memories with Dier of him passing back to Salah, but I have a memory of Sanchez when I think Mahrez cooked him so hard that he face planted on the grass.
The 360
Spin in a circle.
Yeah, I remember that as well.
His head on the grass and Mahrez is just running through
Spin
it.
in a circle.
Oh, that was a 3-0, wasn't it? That was a 3-0, wasn't it?
3-0 at their ground.
Oh gosh.
painful, bro.
Yeah, we've had some moments.
I'm hearing Drăgușin's agreeing in personal terms with Bayern.
Okay, well,
But that's always going to happen.
it is what it is. It is what it is.
Keep it moving.
I don't know. It's I don't know. It's a light one.
I've seen Di Marzio update. I've seen Di Marzio update that he's going to make his decision tomorrow morning. So
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's fine.
tomorrow.
We'll find out. But it's at the end of the day, like I said before, it's like I hear what you know. What I do feel sorry for the young people. I do feel sorry for the
I was
young
thinking
people.
the same thing. Yeah, go on.
You know, I feel sorry for the young people. But the thing is, though, I think we're all at a good age now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and if you've seen what Tottenham have done, how many years, you kind of just sit there and think,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I think no. For me, I think what this has taught me is that I've in these last 17 days or not or whatever it is, as Spurs fans, my expectation can't be up here anymore, because if the rest of the fan base don't really care if we're bringing in people like Timo, if we're not going to improve on the squad, we're just going to bring in like for like replacements, then everyone's happy. Like most people are happy with that. No one's going to make any gripes or any grapes. I've got to bring my expectation down, and actually, if we finish 8th, I'm not moaning about that. That's where I expect to be. Kind of scenario.
I mean, at the end
If
of
we're
the
bringing
day,
in people like Timo Werner, right? This is what I'm looking at. If we're bringing in people like Timo Werner, he's not here to replace anybody. He's not here to improve the first team. He's just here to go. Here, you're just an extra body, and that's what it feels like.
But this is why I say what I said about Ange at the moment. Everyone was telling me, and they've had a go at me saying, "Why you don't support Ange? Why do you not support Ange?" I said, "Well, I need to be convinced because I've seen this all before. I've seen the euphoria before. I saw the euphoria after 3 games after Nuno, and look what happened there. You know what I mean?" So, like I said before, like this is a season with no expectations, no expectations. Yeah,
1-0 Stinkhouse to Watford at
you know what I
home.
mean?
So
So it's like when you've got expectations and you're seeing what Newcastle are doing at the moment and Arsenal are doing at the moment, yeah, right? You see what happens. Yeah, I don't think this guy's going to be here more than 2 years because I think he's got his own man, right? And I think you'll sit there and think because he's impressed a lot of people. He's impressed a lot of people, Postecoglou, this early part of the season. His personality is shone through 110%. I'll tell you now, if Klopp does one at Liverpool, you know what? You know, they think, I fancy a bit of that. Yeah? Man United, they'll love him. I've heard a few Man United fans saying, I want him right now. Now.
If Man United was smart enough right now, negotiating with Levy would not be easy. But if Man United was smart, they'd get rid of Ten Hag and bring in Postecoglou tomorrow.
Yeah,
I think that would I think Levy would just
Levy because for me, I think Ange would go because obviously Man United. For him, he grew up Liverpool. Obviously supporting Liverpool. And Man United were obviously the biggest team, so he knows how the hierarchy sits in England, right? So if Man United come calling, I reckon he'd go. But at the same time, I agree with Michael. I don't think Levy will be Man United don't want to go down that road.
The problem is when the head's gone, the head's gone. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's
the problem.
Right.
And there's a reason why he left. He left, right? He left Celtic when everyone loved him. Yeah, you know this because people were saying in their chats, Celtic saying, this guy's good, we love him. Yeah? So this guy, he knows his thing. And he's not close to Levy, you know. You see it already. He knows not to trust him.
Well,
you know
I said this on the show on our match reaction on Saturday, and they did shoot me down on it a little bit. And I said the last couple of games, his interviews have been a bit prickly.
They have.
Yeah.
They've not been his normal self. And like everyone was going, look at that, how he answered the Dier question. Right. And I'm looking at it going, 3-4 weeks ago, he was answering that calmly. But the way he goes, are you questioning my integrity? And I'm like, whoa, this is not the Ange. Like, it was funny and everything. But at the same time, I looked at it and went, that don't seem right. It's like you were promised all this stuff at the beginning. You did the annual thing with Levy. All of a sudden, reality started to hit in. And this is the bit that worries me. And even on against Burnley, right? And people at the ground would not have seen it as much. But he didn't celebrate when we scored. And he's always celebrating. He didn't celebrate like he normally does. He's like, yeah, but you know where he usually puts his arm up and whatnot? He didn't celebrate properly. And I was a bit like, is this the start of the downfall where he started all those broken promises that he was promising in the summer? He's starting to see it over this window already.
I think it's a bit connected to performances too. Like I don't want to put everything in that Levy basket. I think he's majorly pissed off with
I was more,
performances.
but when I say that, I mean like everything around the club. Because even the performances, like it's not just. I'm not just saying what's happening with transfers, not just transfers, because this was happening. I see even prickly before the transfer window opened. So is it more to do with everything that's going around in the club right now? And he's like, this is a bigger project than I realized, or something's happened. Something's happening behind the scenes. Like everything always happens when the managers start to get prickly. You start to go, and it always shows in the.
I don't think it's now. I think next season is going to be the one for me. Next season and the following season as well. Yeah, I think next season, and I tell you now, right now, it's going to be a difficult season for Tottenham next season. They need to buy. They need to buy because we need to do better than this season. This is the problem. Yeah, people think, it's all right because we've done well now. It looks all good. No, you do better. That's why that's why Alex Ferguson was the best manager of the century. Yeah, because he knew he needs to do better, and he insisted. Guardiola is one of the elite managers right now because he knew he had to be better. You know, Ancelotti for Real Madrid, he knew every single season, Champions League, he needs to be better. Yeah, that's why he's insisting. That's why they won every single time. Yeah, Tottenham, they go up here. Yeah, don't go any better than that, don't they? You know what I mean? Even Mikel, you don't agree with me most of the time. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I'm sorry if I'm getting his name on by the way. Is it Michael and Mikel? I do apologise. But
whatever, Michael, Mikel.
But you get what I'm saying? It's like you just got to be better, and that's it. That's how it is. You know, I'm an old school guy from the 90s, bruv, man. That's it, man. You know what I mean? That's how I learned.
I feel like Spurs are one of the club that like to be invited to the party, but that's all they want. They only want the invitation.
Yeah.
They don't want to, be the host or anything like that. They just want to get invited to that Champions League table and just be in the mix.
I'm not interested in being Champions League, by the way. I'll take Europa League all day long, but I'm not doing days out in Champions League anymore. I'm sort of done
even
with
then,
that.
we get into the Europa League and we then put our second string teams.
Anybody learn from West Ham winning Conference League, by the way? Yeah, European Conference League. Yeah, well, I have to watch them win the trophy then. Yeah, and they have a better season than us.
The way we went out of Conference League.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you can't learn from seeing West Ham winning Europa Conference League, I don't know what else to say. And they've not won their trophy for a long time, and they've won a European trophy recent times than us. It's embarrassing. Yeah, Leicester City have got more decorated trophies than us, and they're in the Championship. Work that one out, bro. You know what I mean? Sorry, I didn't want to go Mr. Box Office, but I'm sorry. You just got the inner Mr. Box Office, yeah. I do apologise because I love Ashmatic and I love you, Marlon, as well, yeah. And I love, you know what? I'm getting to know Mikel, and I love Phil. Yeah, he should be more on the show, by the way. But yeah, it's just like So that's what I'm saying, Bob. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm tired of it, Bob. I want you. You know what?
Alex,
I'm singing 8th, and that's it, bro. You're going.
But Alex, like I was saying earlier, but this is like this is where I'm sitting now with, and you just go on social media and you'll see it all. Some Spurs fans want the top. Some Spurs fans are settling and going, I know what it was like 10 years ago. This is the best I care about now and whatnot. And you just have to take, like, for me, I can't be up here anymore. There's no point, because if if we wanted to be a serious club, we'd put pressure on the board. We'd put pressure even like everything. You think about everything that the board have done to us. We've never done a protest like what Liverpool did when the ticket prices went up. We've accepted it, right? Manchester United, how many protests they had against the Glazers? Yes, it won't get them out, but it makes them react. We've never done nothing like that.
The Cronkies protests that Arsenal did, right? A couple of thousands people, even Wenger, they had protests against
Wenger out. Look how Wenger out went. We would never do look. None of us wanted Jose. Let's be completely honest, right? But he's given us Jose. None of us did anything. Conte was, admittedly, he come out and said it was us fans that made him bring Conte in, but he can't. What I don't get is he will listen to fans when it comes to a manager, but when it comes to certain things like ticket price and stuff, he don't listen. So it obviously weren't us. It was him. Right, he blamed us a lot for what the goings on with Conte, and it was like, but it wasn't our fault. It was you and your decisions. But yet we don't do anything. We sit there and we just sit back and take it all, and that's us as a fan base. We've been like that for years. So for me, I'm not going to get mad about it. I'm going to do what everyone tells us me to do. I'm going to support the club and get on with it. Because if I get too mad about it.
I'm gonna be just need to be convinced. I've always said it since Poch, because I the only reason why I said Poch because I said okay, I'll take it with Martin Yol even though I was angry and it was the wrong decision. Look what happened to Ramos. I was angry about Harry Redknapp. But Poch was the last straw. And bringing in Mourinho, which I knew was the wrong decision because I said it on Chris Callan's show, and look who was right. Look who was right, Mr. Box Office. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I'm not having it. Yeah, and I said it before as well. Yeah, Daniel Levy if Daniel Levy wants to sack Postecoglou, he will sack Postecoglou, regardless whether we like him or not. Yeah, that's you know what I mean. He'll do whatever he wants because he's a businessman, and you just need to listen to Simon Jordan on TalkSport. Yeah. When businessmen want to make a decision, they don't care what anybody else says. You know what I mean? Yeah, and on the Daniel Levy situation, I said this fan base will never ever be together because Daniel Levy's here. Yeah, and until Daniel Levy goes, that's when we'll see change, and everyone will be together, and it will never happen. That's why I'm saying I'm being respectful to everybody else. Yeah,
but you look at it like this: Alan Sugar, right? When everyone wanted him out, the fan base was together and got him out.
Yeah.
No matter how they look at it, you can't make change. But that's how it ended up being the Celtics. Because Sugar went, I can't deal with this no more. So it can happen, but I think it's because we're kind of like, we've seen Champions League finals. We've seen, there has been good parts. We're not going to deny that, but it's come at a cost. And we are split as a fan base.
Yeah, it's because of Daniel Levy, and Daniel Levy's not going. So it's like, and I'm saying this, trying to be respectful to the people I know that fight for this club, because I know those people, and I respect them a lot. They're good friends of mine as well. You know who I'm talking about, yeah, right. But at the same time, I've just come to that realization, and like I said before, like I said, all the good ages, we've achieved so much in our lives, and we've seen little of Tottenham. So you just get to a point where you just think, shrug your shoulders and think, so what? You know what I mean? And I feel sorry for the young people. I just feel sorry for the young people. You know what I mean?
I started supporting this club after the 18-19 Champions League run, so I didn't even get to experience the Poches, right? So riddle me that. Why I'm supporting Tottenham is sometimes, surprising to me, right? But yeah, it's like my issue with, or not issue with Levy, my stance on Levy is, as long as I see like us progressing towards like the promised land, and actually like reaching the promised land eventually, right? I've said it plenty of times. I'm patient, right? If you told me that we are going to win the league in 10 years, right? Because we are building from now, and we are going to grow, whatever, right? I would be willing to accept that. As I said, I'm not a fan for a long time. I'm not as pissed off as some of the older guard, right? But if that was achieved, I'm fine with Levy staying, right? As long as he's serious about this club, right? The issue is that when we look at it, right, we can justify Werner. We can, like, I really like the discussion that we had, right? But the fact of the matter is, if you were serious about this this season, for example, right? We are 3 points of the top or 5 points of the top or something, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let's go bring in Bakayoko from PSV, slap 50 on the table, right? Or 60 on the table, whatever they want, right? Go slap 50 for Todibo. And suddenly we are in a title charge, right? Because I don't think we are that far off with how shit this league is, right? With what Alex is saying, right? Like shit in terms of there is not like a top 4 that's going to like slap everyone else and just fight for their own, right? Like from 1st to 9th, everyone can beat everyone pretty much, right? And I think like right now, strictly like squad quality wise, we are probably like 7th or 8th in the league. I think Villa have a better squad than us. When everyone is fit, Newcastle probably have a better squad than us, right? I don't think that's like such an outrageous statement to say we are like 7th, right? But fact is, like United are dreadful, Chelsea dreadful, Newcastle like tragic run of form, right? Brighton and West Ham are on and off, right? So if you look at it, just by default, we are probably going to finish top 5, right? Just by default, if we just match the results of the other guys, right? But we should use this as a springboard to to try to challenge for something and try to build like from it, right? But we know what will happen. We'll bring in Werner, maybe Drăgușin will happen or some other defender. Maybe we'll bring one more guy on loan. Summer will come. We will be like kind of happy with some signings, but underwhelmed with others. And it's just like repeating it, right? And if this shit keeps happening, right, where we always just do enough to be like part of the top 4 conversation, then I want the ownership gone, right? But if they will use this top 4 or top 5 that we will achieve this season most likely, if they use it as a springboard, right? And in the summer we bring in like a quality center back, another one, right? And the fucking like Olise, Bakayoko, someone like exciting winger that fits the system, etc. Right? Then I'm going to be fine with the ownership, right? That's the way it is. I think like our friend, like I think we all like relatively like Stelios, right? At least, and I think Stelios has been getting a lot of slack that he dialed down on the Levy out thing, right? And the protests weren't happening, etc. Right? But if you looked at it, like in the first part of the season, it looked like we are going towards like in the right direction, right? Towards that promised land, as I said, right? So why protest then? The protests are there for us to be serious and to achieve glory, right? So if we are on a good path to achieving glory, then why protest, right? But right now, the January window came, and again, like 10th, we don't have a center back. We brought in Werner. It's okay, but let's be honest, does it push us to challenge for the league or to challenge for the FA Cup? Do we back ourselves when we find ourselves in the semi-final against Liverpool? Sorry, like Liverpool will slap us most likely, right? So that's how I look at it. Sorry for the long.
No, it's cool, man. Like for me, I'll just go real quick, and then I'll talk about the FA Cup, whatever. I'll just go around the predictions and figure out, and then call it a day. But I said it before, like I was expecting nothing in January. Like this mid-January, I wasn't expecting much. So like that Werner thing kind of threw me off. I knew we needed a centre back, so I expected at least a centre back. So I agree with Phil on that one, and I agree with box office as well. Like in terms of we kind of know what our club's like. Do you know what I'm saying? Summer, I just thought, okay, cool. We done a good bit of business, and I just wanted to copy and paste that for next summer. I think if we got another like Vicario level signing or Madison / Van der Ven, like those 3, like in one window to add to the squad to like further what box office was saying, not for the bench, but everyone's got to fight for the position. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That's the only way we can be on par with the top 2, because to be fair, Liverpool's bench, they ain't got depth either. I don't think Liverpool have depth. What they have is a strong attacking 5, but in terms of actual depth, centre backs / midfielders, they ain't really got depth either. But they do have youngsters that are coming through. Arsenal, I don't really rate their depth, if I'm being honest.
Meet at best.
And I only look at City with the only team having that rotation and the manager in Pep that he's just got the know-how and he's been there and done it where we haven't got that. Do you know what I'm saying? So I would never expect us to really be in a title challenge, maybe in a race, if I'm making sense, but for us to actually lift the, maybe not. FA Cup, possibly. You know what I mean? This season, it's a bit too soon. Everyone calm down. But prediction-wise, I just want to go around the room real quick as well, because it's 2 hours. We began hard, bro. I just want to get everyone's thoughts on the FA Cup, home, predictions, what we're thinking, and then I need to cut. I need to go to bed. Sorry for the people in the comments. I gotta sleep, man. I need my beauty sleep. So I'll start with Phil. What's your thoughts? What are your predictions?
Yeah. If City are not playing a full strength team, there's a chance. I think if they are, I think we'll score, but I think it might be like a 3-1. I feel like City might break the hoodoo against us. That's just my feeling at the moment. I'd say like 3-1, 3-2 City. That's how I'm feeling right now.
Michael, what you said?
They're definitely scoring. That record is going in the bin. Oh, I can tell you that. But I think if it was like full strength versus full strength, if we had Son, Sarr, Bissouma, Maddison, Van de Ven, Feet, like that team from the first 10 games, I would really fancy us, right? As I said, the record of not scoring at our stadium is going in the bin, definitely, even with our full strength team, right? But with the full strength team, I actually think like first 11 quality wise, we at our own ground, under the lights, FA Cup, I think I would fancy us, right? But I think the issue for me is I just don't see this front three scoring more than like 2 or 3, and I think we will need 2 or 3 goals to beat City at home. Like, let's be honest about it, right? So even with Werner, but yeah, like I don't know, man. It's like
It's not easy. It's not easy.
It's not easy. I browse Reddit from time to time, and I jumped on like the subreddit for City fans, right? And I kid you not, I think this is one of the few occasions where both fan bases went, not these fuckers again. Like, I kid you not, like, because we looked at City and we were like, why City? Wow, why it had to be them? And City were like, not the cock on the ball team, right?
Yeah.
Why them? it had to be them, right? So I think that's the way I feel about it. I think it can go both ways, even with the state of both teams. But if I really had to like predict the scoreline, I think like 2-1 City is what I would predict. Yeah, 2-1 City. I think we'll lose that one, unfortunately.
Don't do predictions. What's Mr. Box Office, do you?
No, before we go to box office, what you got to say, Marlon? I like what midfield do you think we'll go with as well? That's what I want to know.
Whichever one's available. that's all it's going to be, depending on who we lose against United. Well, it's before Brentford, isn't it? It's before
Brentford, yeah.
Yeah, so whoever we lose against United, for me, I wouldn't be surprised if Werner scores. But I've got a feeling Man City will score in the last 10 minutes to make it 1-1, break the hoodoo, take us back to the Etihad and smash us. Completely, like, tear us to pieces. That's what I think is going to happen. I think it'll be 1-1, and I think we'll score, and we'll go in that thing where we're going, oh, it's going to happen again, and then Rodri or someone like that will pop up.
Box office.
3-1 Man City. So, yeah, I've got no conviction that we're going to do it. I think we'll score. I think we'll miss chances, and I think if Haaland's in the game, even though without the goals he's an above average John Carew, I don't think he'll end up being above average John Carew. I think it would just be the Haaland that scores goals, and that's it for me. You know what I mean? So I'm just think unfortunately, if we got that defender through, and if Emerson's in defence, we've got no chance. absolutely no chance because the Doji will have to save his ass again, and you know what I mean. And it's just
Romero and Van der Ven, I think we'll both be back by then.
Oh, Romero might get sent off.
Red card.
So you know what I mean. So it's just like I just don't trust it as far as I'm concerned. So it's just like just for me, it's yeah, you know what I mean. And just I think it'll calm down a few Tottenham fans as well. But you won't be surprised if we win, but we'll win as well. You know what I mean? You never know. But at the end of the day, I think 3-1 Man City. Sorry.
Yeah, FA Cup's a hard one to predict, but I like predicting and going against the grain because a lot of Spurs fans are optimistic, but sometimes when you're pessimistic, then the opposite happens. So I might just carry on the trend and say, De Bruyne is going to be on form. You know what I'm saying? He's probably going to have Foden next to him. The men are going to be doing bits, feeding, like you said, Marlon. Going to have Bernardo Silva doing what he does best.
No, man,
and Doc going to be a menace. Then Guish will come on and give us another problem to think about. So, yeah, Son won't be back by then either. So he's going to be able to stick it in the back of the net. That's our biggest problem. We create a lot of chances, a lot of shots, but
you sell some Kulusevski, you still got them,
if he's playing as a winger, I'll be afraid. Bloody hell.
Maybe Solomon. They said Solomon might be back by then as well. So
I feel even better, Solomon. Really? Okay. I just need to ask a question, just quickly, yeah. Just quickly, yeah. Right.
End the show.
Would you have thought that we are favourites to win at Old Trafford right now, or Man United right now? Just a question.
On form, I'd say Spurs, but
ain't United on form.
United always turn up. No, on form. On form.
On form. United are one of the top. Unfortunately, one of the top teams on form, and we're all forgetting that they've had decent results in the Premier League.
I think no longer. They just got slapped by Forest, right?
Yeah, but they still have a decent. Yeah, but they still have a decent run. You're going on like one game. Like they still are decent in the Premier League. It's not like
actually,
it's been their performances, and that's been the problem. Their performances have not been great. Where ours have been great and we've not been winning. So, and even then, the last 4 or 5 games, our performances have not been great.
But remember, they got beaten by Bournemouth, at home.
Yeah, they got beaten by Bournemouth.
They do not like pace. Which we
don't have at the moment.
Well, we have got pace in Werner. Brendan Johnson.
We still got none of
and Richarlison does make a nuisance of himself, and that's the only positiveness I can say about Richarlison.
To be fair, the only thing that I can think that's going to happen is that Onana's going to make a bloody mistake, and it's going to win us the game, and everyone's going to be like, "Why didn't you just send him off?" So
that's the keeper.
He'll pass to one of our players. That's what he's going to do. He's going to pass out from the back.
Yeah, we'll pass to Werner. Werner will miss an open goal, and everyone will be like,
I can't do this. I will end it.
By the way, Marlon, they lost 3 in the last 5.
They lost 3 in the last 5 now.
Yeah. 2-1 lost to Forest. They won 3-2 against Villa.
That's right. Yeah. They
lost 2-0 to West Ham. Drew with Liverpool and lost to Bournemouth.
But let's be honest here. Aston Villa, they gave that game away.
Yeah, Aston Villa
gave that game away. So this is the thing I'm saying at the moment. Are you expecting
the top sides they performed against? So that's probably what we're looking at right now. Where do we fit?
The way I look at it, like every logical conclusion that you can have, looking at the form, statistics, profiles, styles of play, everything points to us winning, right? Which is exactly the reason why we will probably lose. That's the way it goes, right? I kid you not, every time Ten Hag is about to drown, he just holds on to something and just puts his head over the line of water and goes back down again, right? But I just have a feeling we'll be the sacrificial lamb for the gods of football.
Sure.
We'll probably lose 1-0 against them due to some cock up.
Or it'll be 4 or 5, and everyone will be like Man United are back.
Yeah, then they will get slapped by, I don't know, Wolves or someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, Phil, thank you for joining us.
Nice one, guys.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Michael as well.
Pleasure.
Been absolutely. It's weird not to talk to you on We Are Tottenham TV and actually talk to you on our show.
That's fair enough.
And Ash, thanks for coming.
Anytime, bro. Anytime.
That's all we can end the show now, right?
Look, listen. Appreciate. You know, I love you guys, man. You know, you love you guys. Yeah, you know what I mean. So, you know, and I enjoy your content and stuff. And I think everybody should be liking the stream. I want people liking the stream, yeah, and liking the rival show as well, because that's a good show as well. Yeah, I mean, even though some people talk waffle, like somebody said that, Angie's elite. I mean, honestly, even though it was a great show, and that Liverpool fan was good. You got some good fans on there, by the way. But yeah, I just think this show is really good. You know what I mean? So you know, and big up to you, you guys, even Has as well. And yeah, that's it really. So please like and subscribe to this show, to South U Coys, please. You know what I mean? Yeah, and get Phil on your show as well. Yeah,
Big up.
and get Mikel on your show as well. Yeah, more as well. Yeah, because he needs to talk. He needs to talk about football because he's dying to do it all the time. You know what I mean? So that, you know what I mean?
I'm a jobless student. I'm a jobless. No, well, I'm used to saying jobless student, but I'm no longer a student. I'm just jobless. So you know, like football, it is, right?
No, big thanks to everyone in the chat. Yeah, shout outs to Adrian
Yeah,
and Kev G as well, who's been contributing throughout the whole show as well. Daryl Denton as well, Beyond 72, Marlon Eltel Cockrell. Who else have we had?
Adrian,
Mia, yeah, Conrad as well, who's been in the chat. Yeah, Phil P was in there earlier. But yeah, big up to everyone. Steve G as well. I think Comment, Bobby K, Flicks, Matt. SP7S. But yeah, big up to everyone who's been in the chat today. Thank you very much. Ash is back tomorrow with the rival show, as Mr. Box Office said, and we'll be back with the Friday show, preview show of Man United, and Sunday match reaction. But as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you
Come on,
Spurs.
Spurs.
Yes, come on, you Spurs.